Goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me.
Welcome back, guys. We have not been canceled by the president or anybody else today. We are here for Access Vegas. Welcome to have everybody back here on the show. It's been 2 weeks, and we're excited to have everyone. We got Oktoberfest coming up here in a couple of days. Jeremy Lewis Leadership Conference coming up tomorrow. We got my BFF Kindly Myers' 40th birthday on Sunday for Babes in Toyland, Boots and Bikinis, and we have a bunch of incredible guests, and we're going to get to them right now. She is from Miami. She is a digital marketer. Please welcome Natalie to the show. Welcome, Natalie. Incredible. She's from California. She does absolutely nothing. It's Eden. Welcome back, Eden. Incredible. She's from Florida. She's in nursing school. You know what that means. It is Ashley. Welcome, Ashley, to the show for the first time. He is from Perth. He's a sex coach and former adult star. Please welcome back to the show, Mr. Sterling Cooper. Yes. She is from San Diego. She's the owner of Golden Bear Barbecue. It is Jennifer Brand coming back. Yes. She's the owner of Harps Cosmetics. She is from Tennessee. Please welcome Harper Rain. All right. She's from Cocoa Beach. She used to host a podcast with me like 15 years ago. Called Waking Up in Vegas. Please welcome Tiffany Master. Yes, she's from Canada. She is a photographer. Welcome, Casey. How you doing?
Good to be here.
Good to be here. Awesome. He's from Maine. He's the CEO of Euphoria. It is Matthew. Welcome, Matthew, to our show. First time here. She is from Florida. She's a pharmacy tech. Paris Green.
Hey.
Paris, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
And she's from Wisconsin. She's a graphic designer and a model. Welcome, Chloe May. Chloe, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you guys know we got those events coming up this weekend, a pretty exciting time. There's some other exciting stuff. Jimmy Kimmel just got canceled about 2 hours ago.
Yeehaw!
So we'll see how that whole works. I made it past Jimmy Kimmel. I can't even believe that. That's pretty wild.
What are you going to be wearing on
I am wearing Lederhosen.
Sunday? Yeah.
I'm wearing, no, not on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Oh, no.
On Sunday, I'm
Sunday.
wearing cowboy boots.
Okay.
On Friday.
And Lederhosen.
So what are we doing on Friday, Tiffany?
Well, on Friday, we've got Oktoberfest downtown, which has never been done on the east side. It's the first time ever you'll be able to drink on the streets with our band. And we've blocked off 2 blocks, bringing a bit of that Munich, Germany vibe, doing our first annual Oktoberfest here, and celebrating Kindly's birthday with all of us. So
that's
it's going to be a great time.
Birthday. It's going to be a good time. If you guys want to come watch me in Lederhosen, I'm going to be listening. I'm going to be dancing polka music.
Just going to come down for that.
Exciting. If you guys want to come downtown, and just for you guys, a lot of people don't realize this. You cannot drink on the street in Las Vegas. Everyone seems to think you can. Oh, in Vegas, prostitution's legal, and you can just drink beer on the street. Neither of those things are true. You cannot do that.
Not in this county.
No.
So we've got extra security with everything that's heightened. I mean, we've even got cops on top of the roofs looking down. Your group is very spoiled for Kindly's birthday and Babes in Toyland. We're spoiling you girls. We've got outfits. I've got bands for you. I've got beer tokens. And we've got him on stage hoisting and
there we go.
twirling steins and getting the party going.
Exciting once again for Kindly's 25th birthday
You
coming
do
up.
that dance? You know, where you kick your legs out and everything?
Yeah, I'm going to do the whole polka thing.
Yeah, okay.
I'm super excited about that. So we got coming up. A couple more things coming up on October 15th. If you guys are interested in getting involved, it's Babes in Toyland's Pink Party in Los Angeles, and it's going to be for breast cancer awareness. It's my favorite one because everyone seems to want to show off their boobs for some reason. I don't know why they wear these pink dresses and have to. So it's pretty.
Are you
fun
wearing
time.
pink? Are you going to wear pink this time?
I'll have a pink.
I wore pink, all pink last time. It takes a real man to rock pink, man.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. So we have that coming up. And then you guys already know Swimsuit USA's finals is the 19th to the 26th in Mexico. December 4th is going to be Babes in Toyland Babes in Toyland Toy Drive.
Toy Drive, yeah.
For the
Toys for
Midnight
Tots.
Mission. No, it's for Midnight Mission in Los Angeles. It's a homeless shelter in Los Angeles. If you guys are interested in getting involved with that, go to Babes in Toyland, BabesInToylandCharity.com, and you guys can come hang out at any one of our charity events. You don't have to be subscribe to anything. You guys can always come to a charity event if you guys want to come help us support any one of the charities that we do. Cool. Did you have any other announcements?
I do not. You ready to get to Jimmy Kimmel?
Okay. Well, this just happened. We just added this video because this happened right now.
This just in.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
All right. So I don't know if you guys saw that. That was just in the last couple hours. And do you have the statement that just came out?
I could read it. Let me go dig it up.
Yeah. So he's been taken off the air indefinitely after making that statement about the whole situation with Charlie.
Yeah, and ABC has pulled, just from what I can get, what I've been gathering since all this happened is ABC pulled him off indefinitely right now and not giving any reasons, although I think we know what the reasons are.
So there's that. The issue is this, so what happened was initially, yes, the report, the shooter was the son of a county sheriff, and he's a white kid with a gun, and so you just sort of imagine that he was a MAGA Republican Trump supporter, and then of course the details come out that he was actually a homosexual kid who was in a relationship with a trans boy, and then they had a Discord server where he was actually admitting to wanting to do the shooting and saying, "I'm here to protect you," and all this kind of stuff. Even after that happened, the fact that Jimmy Kimmel goes on the air and says that was just mad. I mean, it was.
You got to remember that
insanity.
show was on Monday, and all of everything had already been pretty much sorted out certainly by Saturday or Sunday.
Wasn't he on Antifa Discords?
Well,
Yes,
but the thing is,
Trantifa.
the problem is he's saying they're trying to make him. No one's trying to make him anything. There's messages between him and his boyfriend. Okay, like that's the part that's so crazy and sensitive. The other thing is Donald Trump has come out, regardless of what you think about Charlie Kirk or Donald Trump. Donald Trump has come out several times and said that he was horribly sad about what happened to Charlie Kirk. He's answered the question several times. They find one that they're going to take out of context, and then they're going to say, okay, that's what he thinks. And so that was kind of the final straw. And I'm just curious, what do you guys think? Anybody have any reactions?
Anybody
I know it's really
following
rough.
this? Yeah.
I actually quite wonder, is this a moment where actually we can find an opportunity to come together? I mean, I'm about as liberal as you possibly can get.
Yeah.
A gay man. I grew up listening to NPR. It's formed my entire worldview.
Yeah.
Look, this is not the way. You don't shoot somebody to address an issue.
Sure.
Right.
Period.
Yes.
And, comedy, I think, is one of those things that it can kind of be on the knife's edge sometime. And my understanding is the FCC filed the complaints with ABC. I mean, I think it's just, can we talk together about these sorts of things and stop just saying it's me or it's you? It just
definitely. I did a show with him right after it happened, like a couple hours after it happened, and the first thing I said is, "Hey, just to let you guys know, is most of the people who don't like Charlie Kirk did not want him to die, regardless of what you see on the internet. The problem was the next 1,000 videos I saw on TikTok of people dancing in the streets, happy that he was dead, and it just got more and more, and then every day it got progressively worse. And again, guys, it's not even 5% of people. It's wild when I see people go through this. But one of the things I said was, just be careful, because whatever you do in this next week is going to follow you for the rest of your life.
Stick to you.
And so now there's hundreds of people losing their jobs. They're going online talking about, I just lost my job. You're going to lose your payment processor. You're going to lose your merchant account. You're going to lose your sponsors.
Your
you're gonna lose
monetization
employment.
on your
You're going to be
YouTube.
demonetized. And I told people, I was like, listen, even if you do, for whatever reason, or you're happy about this murder, keep it to yourself. Like I'm saying, I'm not even trying to threaten you people. I'm just saying, like, this is insane that you're sitting there. Like, do you understand? let's just say you believe Charlie Kirk's the worst human in the world and you feel completely justified in what you're saying. Do you understand how narcissistic you have to be to make this about you right now?
I would argue to say if you are happy about anyone being shot in cold blood, you need to really, again, this is coming from the gay liberal in this table here, you really need to evaluate what's going on in your own head.
And that was the first thing we actually said. We said if something were to happen to Bernie Sanders, AOC, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, we would be horribly sad because what it means is our liberal democracy has failed. That's essentially what happens. Our republic, our representative republic has failed. That whatever diplomacy we have, the reason why democracy works is because you're supposed to have a peaceful transition of power from mayor to mayor, governor to governor, et cetera, all these kind of things. And when you have that level of violence, then there's a failure that's happened because of it. And so I would be sad regardless of that whole thing happening. But regardless, like, people can feel however they want. I can't tell people to not feel angry or feel joy or whatever. What I can tell you is you're going to pay for it forever if you do something stupid. And then we just had hundreds of examples of that happening.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like we talked about this when it first hit, and then I waited until my show on Sunday. I could have just jumped in and went after, but I'm glad I didn't, because a lot more facts came out between Thursday and then my show's on Sunday, right? The thing that I think gets me about the Kimmel situation is that it was Monday and all of this stuff was common knowledge by that time. And so the only thing I can think of is that Jimmy Kimmel was just simply reading whatever his comedy script writers were handing him to read on that particular. Now, should he have gone through it and said, hey, is this really factual? I've been hearing some other stuff. He just read it, just knee-jerk, just rote memorization, just went and read the script. And so I think that right there is probably what did him in, rather than maybe it was like the actual show as opposed to like Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, should he be responsible for like what he's reading? Yes, but like I think it was more about his script writers than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, he was just factually,
because they probably his script writers probably wrote it on a Friday and said, read this Monday.
Read this Monday. That's probably what happened. But I mean, that's why that whole thing happened. Anyway, I don't know.
Do we want to do Sadia? Should we jump in on Sadia again? Our favorite punching bag.
So do we want to go through the videos of the people?
Oh, we could, but let me get to Sadia real quick.
So
it's too easy.
So this was 2 weeks ago. Obviously, the whole situation happened with Sadia Khan, where it turns out she doesn't have a medical degree. She's not a licensed therapist, and she was a side chick. You saw the whole thing, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things that happens, I made a video. Basically, she stated that any woman who would have sex with her man and another woman at the same time, or let her man have sex with other women, is also cheating on him. And I said, I think for the most part that's true, but there are occasional exceptions to that. And I said, sometimes women are bisexual and they're fine with that. And also in Islam, you'll have a man who'll have 4 wives. Turns out her father is Pakistani and had 4 wives. She comes on my Instagram, leaves a nasty comment basically saying that every woman I talk to is sexually liberal and cheats on me. And I don't know Sadia Khan. She's punching down. She has 10 times the following that I do. And then she comes up with this incredible video right after she gets caught.
There we go.
Got it?
Maybe 2 wives and coaches when they have 2 wives. They just have 2 wives. That's what happens. They're busy, got 2 families, like 20 kids, and they've got to feed these 2 wives. They're busy. They're booked and busy. They've got 2 wives to look after. Men with 1 wife will have an affair every 2 years. So I'm thinking, what might be, but like not every 2 years, but some men with just 1 wife, they can. Their affairs are more likely. So sometimes it made me realize that polygamy might be better than monogamy. At least there's some element of knowledge and control. I can see the difference, because you're either, I'm not saying you have to have either or. There's many monogamous men out there. But there are, in monogamous countries, there's a lot of infidelity. So it does show you that maybe there isn't just one route for a faithful relationship. Maybe there is different routes for it. You just have to pick what you're okay with. Yeah? As a woman, you have to pick what you're okay with. Are you okay with you being polygamous? Are you okay with your partner being polygamous? Are you okay with just a really monogamous man? But then if you really want a monogamous man, you have to choose a man with low testosterone. If you really want a monogamous man, his testosterone must be really low.
I love it.
If you're choosing a high testosterone man and expecting him to be faithful for the rest of your life, you have to be slightly more realistic. Yeah?
Wow, what the heck was she saying? This is some side chick logic. This video was taken this past weekend at the London event. A lot of people are asking, what happened? Did she go? Yes. I heard she charges a ridiculous amount of money for these engagements. So she probably had to show up, but it wasn't a good idea because now we have videos like this from people who were in attendance showing how irrational she sounds. Now, I'm not going to diagnose her. I'm not a licensed psychologist, and I'm no longer a licensed mental health counselor, nor a licensed marriage, couples, and family therapist. I retired in 2019, but from my academic background, I would guess that this is an example of pressured speech from someone afflicted with a manic disposition, but I could be wrong. But that's what I'm seeing here from my academic background, which was in clinical mental health counseling. I do feel a little bit sorry for her because clearly, she's stressed, she's probably not sleeping, and she's very anxious about what's happening to her career right now. But that aside, I think it's still very important until she comes out and takes accountability and owns up to the things that she's done to not let her get off the hook. So she posted this whole announcement on her Instagram page today, trying to create a false narrative, defending herself against the allegations that she cheated with a married man and that she's not trained to do what she's doing. So let me also make a point about that. She's using loopholes and to manipulate the narrative because she didn't have an affair with a married man. The guy that they have the audio of was engaged, and it was in 2021. So maybe they're not seeing each other anymore, but that was real. John Dorsey, Goob, did talk to that guy, and he totally fessed up that, I did it, I made a mistake, but he owned his stuff. So he's not on blast, but she is because she's lying about it and trying to pretend like it didn't happen and creating this whole saga about it being AI generated, but it's not, it's real. Now, the second part about her being fully trained, she's not a fully trained professional psychologist. She was trained as a psychology teacher of A levels. That's teenagers. That's low-level remedial psychology teacher. Not a professor, not a counselor or therapist or anything that is clinically trained to do proper treatment of people with mental health issues.
I actually have a kind of a weird response to this. I actually think everything that Sadia said there was correct for the first time. I actually think she was actually finally being honest. Yes, there is data, very clear data that shows that men with higher testosterone are more likely to cheat. She finally actually included something that was true. And there's and this woman, she's like, can you believe this?
That's Dr. Taylor Burroughs. She's a friend of mine.
This side chick logic. And I'm like, no, she's actually for the first time probably being logical instead of trying to browbeat us with her morality previously. That's essentially what's going on. Anybody have any thoughts when it comes to the Sadia Khan thing?
I mean, she was selling herself with the brow, like you said, with the browbeating morality.
Yeah.
And we touched on this earlier today, where it's if you,
but she said she would not have a discussion with me or come on my podcast because she said that my audience doesn't mix with her moral views. That's what she wrote me. She DM'd me and said that.
Right. It's and we touched on this earlier. It's clear moral pandering to a very specific audience.
Yes.
And that's what all the things she was saying was very PC and allowed by YouTube, Instagram, and all this other.
Right.
She never experienced any of the throttling that guys like you or Rollo or me experience.
She got through the gate, like Rollo said.
Yeah, we talk more about uncomfortable truths.
Yeah,
and she's circumnavigating those pretty effectively.
Yeah, she got through the gate. Anybody else have any thoughts about Sadia?
I think she could have saved her brand, but I think she's going about it horribly.
Well.
I actually, one of my most controversial things is I actually love being a mistress. I don't love being a mistress. Let me clarify. I think being a mistress is the best thing you can be if you're dealing with a cheating man.
Okay.
I thought you didn't do anything for a living.
I know. You don't get paid to be a mistress?
Always better to be the side bitch, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Ideally, you want a man who loves you or you want to be single. But if you're dealing with a cheating man, the best thing you can be is the mistress. All right. You get only his benefit, nothing else. Then you send it back to his wife. He argues with her. He calls her fat. She has to do the dishes.
But you at the Four Seasons, I'm just saying.
Yeah. She's a dating coach. Dating, mistresses are dating. We're not married,
Incredible. The level of honesty. I love it so much. Anybody else have any thoughts about Sadia?
Yeah. I do agree with what she's saying. Basically, the way that she handled it was just super incorrect. I've seen so many just PR disasters that are handled better if they just take accountability and apologize, versus if you double down on the lie, you double down on where you're wrong. If you were to just say you know what, it was a mistake. I made this mistake. I've learned from it. This is where a lot of my dating coaching comes from. Even if it's not correct, whatever you believe in, as long as you just take accountability and apologize, the response that you get from the public is so much better versus if you double down on the lie.
Agreed. Yeah.
I slightly disagree. I agree that you take accountability, but I don't agree that you apologize.
Well, you don't have to
Because
apologize.
no one forgives you. You never ever apologize.
Right, but the thing is, Sterling really did do porn. That's not. you can. He's not lying about it. I didn't make it up. You can go verify it if you want. It's not like with Sadia Khan. It really did happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. No, here's the thing. I think she's pretty enough and charismatic enough to where she could have had a brand and never said anything about any academic shit. Because the reason why I was never I didn't care about this story initially until I saw how big it was is because I never saw her as an academic. When I listened to her, I was like, oh, this is just bro science shit that she believes because she deals with cheating men and prostitutes in Dubai. That's why she believes all this. I didn't disagree with her. I just none of it was scientific. If I listen to a clinician, if I listen to a scientist, if I listen to Gad Saad or if I listen to Stephen Stewart Williams, I expect data from Mackin Murphy or William Costello. Yeah. I expect data. I got none from her. She never referenced a single study, a single book, nothing. And so for me, I was just oh, she's just a content creator. I never took it seriously.
I got a good super chat here real quick. As a psychologist, I was surprised Orion agreed to be on that show on Soft White Underbelly with Sadia Khan. I believe she was a psychologist. I never believed she was a psychologist from day one. Thanks for that super chat, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty
Wouldn't she have been better off saying she's a life coach or something like that?
That would have been better.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course it'd be better.
And then you can kind of get away with that.
Well, you also I'm a performance coach and I'm not hindered by the rules of traditional therapy in part because it doesn't work for men.
No license.
It's not traditional therapy. They treat men like defective women. And so that's why I really think being a performance coach for men, I'm not limited by those things. And I don't sit there and claim to have a degree in psychology or have to deal with any of that stuff. So I agree. I think she could have done extremely well. The problem is John Dorsey talked to the dude. He admitted we were having an affair with I was cheating on my fiance with Sadia Khan. Sadia Khan straight up saying how much she wanted to have sex with him. She said, I'm the greatest side chick ever. I don't give you any problems. And I'm just thinking to myself, you gave me the business for saying this shit. And you're literally doing that is crazy. You call me a lot of things, guys. You can't call me a hypocrite. That is crazy. I will tell you I did some stupid shit. But that is wild. Anyway.
One thing I do with my guys, I have a group called Reignite. One thing I do when I do one-on-one counseling, whether it's through the group or not, is I have guys send me an email and say, I need a consult or whatever. I don't even call it counseling. I call it a consultation because I never bill myself as a therapist or any kind of marriage counselor. Counselors, I don't even use that word. I just say I am here as an analyst to see. I'm going to give you my third-party sort of God's eye view of what's going on with you. You can decide to take that as advice or just I'm just going to give you what I see going on, and then we can go and work from there. But I will make you sign or make you agree to a set of policies that I have as a standard email that I'll send back to you. They say, I agree to this, let's set up an appointment kind of thing. But I never, in fact, I reserve the right in that policy statement to say, look, if at any time I think you need professional help, I'm going to refer you to an actual, professional because I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I have a degree in psychology, but I have a bachelor's degree in behavioral psychology. So I don't have a doctorate or anything like that. My biggest gripe with Sadia Khan wasn't so much a lot of people will say, well, what is she saying that's so wrong? And I'm like, well, it's stolen valor is what it is. I don't have a doctorate in psychology, and yet I'm here having to put out a policy saying I'm a consultant or I'm an analyst and I'm not a therapist, and yet she's at least presenting the idea that she is Dr. Sadia Khan by sitting next to Dr. Orion Taraban on Soft White Underbelly.
All right, so the thing is, a lot of people didn't have a problem with what she said. They had the problem with the fact she was charging $8,000 an hour for advice.
The price tag, yeah.
And then, I am charging way too little.
Yeah. Is that what you charge for photography, $8,000 an hour? Is that about what
no.
You don't do that, $8,000 an hour? No?
How much does the mistress charge?
Yes.
Is it more than $8,000 an hour?
How does that work? That's a retainership.
Anybody else have any comments? Go ahead.
I was just kind of disappointed in Sadia because I did listen to her.
Yeah.
I was one of the girls that did listen to Sadia. I was kind of disappointed when I found out the information about her. And yeah, Sadia, I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Yeah. Well, she watches this, so she'll leave a message here in a little bit.
But she won't come on for moral reasons,
No,
right?
she won't because she
So is this her past self, her present self,
No.
her tequila-fueled self? Like, which version of her is not coming on
I
for
want the
moral reasons?
tequila-fueled
Because what
self.
she's already admitted to. I'm just saying.
She literally said, "I will not come on your." It's like your sexually liberal women on your show, and I do not agree with the morals of your audience or something like that. And I'm like, that's crazy.
I'm sure his fiance didn't agree with you sleeping with him either.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
And this from the girl who's putting filters on her video, so her hips actually look like they're a little bit thinner than they
No, I've
actually
noticed
are.
that. And also, I'm just saying, Harps Cosmetics, we do have waist trainers that help with that. So check it out, girl. I got you. I'm a 21-inch waist for a reason. Just saying.
This moral perspective of you should talk to this person or you shouldn't be on that show, I'm kind of tired of that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just really tired. I mean, I got a little, as I mentioned, I'm liberal East Coast.
Matthew, you've said 3 very conservative things since you've been on. I don't know if you've noticed that. So let me get this. You're against censorship. You want to not celebrate when people are murdered because of political violence. You're starting to sound like a conservative.
I'm definitely not a conservative. But what I am is really tired of these camps that I can only talk to this particular group. I can only show up on this particular team.
Right.
I can't talk to these groups. And if you do, you're going to get canceled.
Yeah.
Like I got heat from my team saying that I was going to show up on this podcast, fly halfway across the country and do so.
Yeah.
And my reaction is, why? We might not like Sterling and I, when we first met each other, we literally come from opposite sides of the world. We couldn't figure out if I was actually to go to Perth, what is the fastest way to get there? Is it through Los Angeles or is it through London? Like we couldn't be more polar opposite.
Yeah.
But we recognized that there was, like, we're the neighbor that's next door that you know is a little different than you, but still maybe is kind of cool and maybe you can learn something from. This concept of morals being different, well, maybe if you just sit down with them, you'll realize that there's probably a lot more in common than there is different.
Sure,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think coming back to the Charlie Kirk situation here, I'm hopeful. I don't know a lot about him. He was not, another thing is that we're all in our own little media environments. Sure. I probably never listened to more than 5 seconds of what he had to say. So I'm hopeful that this might be a moment where we can all kind of say, you know what? We're different. We have different perspectives. Let's learn from each other. We're not always going to agree, but let's learn.
I think the middle of the standard deviation, a lot of people are going to feel that way. I think the problem is that the algorithm on every one of these platforms rewards you for creating victims.
Yep.
Because when
controversy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is when you blame, and blame can be anything from men's rights activists to BLM to feminism to what Second Amendment activists. When you blame other people for whatever problems you have, you create a safe space for victims, and that is a great way to grow on social media. So while I agree with what you're saying, I just know the algorithm. I know, like, he and I, we don't kick girls off the show. We don't say mean things to girls ever. And our show's nowhere near as
Only
big
Harper.
Our show's nowhere near as big as the other ones because we're not as controversial. All we do is provide solutions. And when you provide solutions, it's boring. But it's still like, this is what we talked about before when we did our interview, the difference between fame and influence. Influence is somebody who can fill up a room, who can get people to take action and get people to change their life. Fame is like Brittany Renner, right? Who just writes a book about getting pregnant by an athlete, and she thinks that fame is like Chris G.Q. Perry. Just like basically he says stuff to pander to women, and nobody's life got better because of the nonsense that he's telling them. So like that,
everybody loves drama.
Huh?
That's because everybody loves.
Everyone loves drama. Yeah.
That's reality TV.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all we watch. It's drama.
But another person that died recently, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was, in many ways, for lack of a better way to put it, kind of boring.
Yeah.
Kind of lived his own life. I think that we should all be kind of looking to him, kind of following that model. And he was definitely successful well into he was still doing a romantic lead in his 80s.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
That does not sound age appropriate to me.
Yeah.
He was a hot old guy.
He was a hot old guy.
He was.
That's how it works. Okay. More to that topic. Let's. I got your Kirk guys here. Let's see.
I do have to agree. He was a very nice looking man.
Him and Sean Connery.
Matthew, what's Euphoria about?
It's a research platform. I'd spent most of my, we were talking as we were starting here, I spent most of my career doing traditional clinical trials, dermatology, psychiatry, sleep studies. And I sold a company I started to a private equity firm and didn't think I was going to do clinical trials again. But I happened to look at my credit card statement one day and I saw all of the memberships, all of the lotions and potions from cosmetic companies, all of the dietary supplements that I was subscribed to, all of the memberships. And and existing in both of these two worlds, I was kind of like, all of these tools, all of these, even these cookies here, we have, we're all kind of guessing what works and what doesn't. We don't really have tools to essentially identify, does this work or does this not work? And we're actually going to see.
Shall we see
in real life.
Case study right
Clinical
here.
trial right here.
Well, this is.
I'm gonna be pooping chocolate here in a second.
Subject 1.0 right here.
This is called an N of 1 study.
Does not sound positive. by
N
the way.
equals number of occurrences in statistics.
Yeah.
End to end.
This is called an N of 1 study. And so I knew the world needed something more than just another talking head on Instagram and TikTok talking about some research study that had 20 people in it that had nothing to do with me. So it took a lot of what I learned from the clinical trial world and applied it to the world of dietary supplements, the world of fitness, the world of coaching. Sterling and I are actually collaborating on a series of research studies about how porn use and abstinence of porn actually affects men. And one of the studies actually includes the Atom sensor, which is a nocturnal erection tracker, to actually kind of get a sense of, hey, is this working? Is it not working? Does it make any difference? Because the reality is we don't really know very much about what makes somebody healthy. We know a lot about in situations where we're ill. Knock on wood, if I were to get cancer, there are lots of clinical trials and lots of solutions in that realm, and thank God that there is. But if we want to stay healthy, if we want to optimize, if we want to prevent, we don't know an awful lot at this point because a clinical trial in the way that they are defined today costs literally millions of dollars. Yeah. And so what we've done is really shift the business model so a cosmetic company like yours can run a research study. Sterling can run a research study on some of the work that he's doing. Cookie companies and coaches and a whole variety of organizations and initiatives and topics that never could kind of get to a point to say this works can actually run the trials to say so.
Ladies, raise your hand if you are also a nocturnal erection tracker. Anybody else? Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
Chloe.
We can make light of a nocturnal erection tracker.
No, we're not making light of it. They're all nocturnal erection trackers.
Actually, it's on the influence side as opposed to the fame side.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely influential. Yes.
But think about this from men who don't access healthcare, right? The guy who thinks they're too macho to go to the doctor. That they, and I did a study with the Kellogg Foundation many, many years ago, not really a study, but a project. And one of the primary health disparities among men was that they just don't go to the doctor because they think it's girly.
Yeah.
But if you start to say, if you don't pay attention to this stuff, you're not going to be able to get it up. It's a cardiovascular health issue. It's a hormonal health issue. It's a blood pressure issue.
Hormones.
Suddenly that becomes something that they pay more attention to. Yep. So a lot of this stuff it's an opportunity for us to find ways of reaching new audiences and improve health in a way that we couldn't necessarily before.
The thing that really excited me when Matt reached out was this study you just mentioned about the porn abstinence stuff. And we're coming up to NoFap November.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh boy.
And our audiences, every year November rolls around, it's NoFap November, and you get so many guys talking about the benefits of porn abstinence, the benefits of NoFap. And there's no actual real data. Right?
Yeah,
there's one study that everyone talks about, which was kind of debunked a bit, and we've got nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I hear this story, and I'm like, yes, let's
that would
connect
be,
that with you guys.
I was going to say that would be good to actually have some empirical data on that,
Right.
because what
And
happens
even more exciting if it
every
comes from our audience.
what happens every November is these guys it's like this magical cosmic ray
I can
shine
levitate.
down on me, and I live a better life.
I haven't jerked off in 2 days.
Because of
can float.
I know, and it's like my chi and my chakras are aligned. I'm just like
my energy, my quantum field. Yes,
Right, so
I'm healing everyone.
It would be nice to actually have some empirical data on.
But we're talking about erections here, and we're talking about it's a whole huge
Of course,
swath of.
that's amazing. Yeah.
There's a study Institute of Medicine, which is part of the Congressional Research Service, they estimate that only 30 to 50% of all medical treatment, so the stuff that you provide at your drugstore or in the hospital, actually have sufficient evidence to suggest they work.
Yeah.
And that's in a hospital where it's supposed to be evidence-based.
Yeah.
You actually take it out of the hospital where most health happens, we're all guessing.
Yeah, it's the you go to the clinic and they give you antibiotics even though you haven't tested positive for a bacterial infection. It's like stuff like that. Yeah, I've definitely seen that before. They're kind of shooting in the dark. But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, man. And you're right, it's extremely expensive because it's something we've looked into before. Evolutionary psychology studies are very, very difficult to do. But the NoFap November, I was asking, I'm just curious. If you have a porn addiction and then you just all of a sudden get a super hot girlfriend, did you get over your porn addiction? Are you still addicted?
Yes.
But you have a super hot girlfriend. She wants to have sex with you all the time. Are you over your porn addiction?
I think she just cured you.
Is that cured? So we would consider that cured? Yeah. Like you just don't know. Do you still have a porn addiction? You don't know. You have a super hot girlfriend, so you don't know.
Well, isn't the way that an addiction works is that you're always an addict?
Like you're always, It's like
she watches the porn with you.
I was going to say, or
so
record your own porn.
Watches porn with you. Are you still a porn addict?
Is she a name?
787.
Lifetime addict here.
Incredible. Thank you guys for being adults with us. So amazing. All right.
I do also feel like a lot of girlfriends are gonna love you if that study proves that like they shouldn't be watching porn anymore.
Well, I want to make very clear here that that Sterling and I are not doing this to say that porn is universally bad. That's when we were talking about the N of 1 study here. Everyone is a bit different in a different situation. I think 20 years ago, when it didn't apply to me, but other gay men that perhaps were in Tennessee or in rural areas, they watched porn and they saw 2 porn actors wearing a condom. That likely saved a lot of people's lives because they learned how to use a condom. So there are positive things as well, but everything is situational. And running a study for a large portion of men who might feel like maybe I'm watching a little bit too much of it, what does that actually do? How do they actually feel? Does it reduce their stress level? Does it increase their stress level? There is an answer that is unique to each individual, and then we can stack each individual answer into broader findings.
The answer is there is an answer. Yeah, because we there's same thing in other studies about you'll have girls being like, who cheats more, men or women? There is data on this. No one ever looks it up though. That's the problem.
Well, and a lot of that data is retrospective in nature. It's someone remembering. It's like all the nutrition studies that are out there.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember exactly how much I ate of whatever I had for breakfast yesterday. But if we do these studies in a prospective manner and we do them in a controlled orientation, we have much more control over the levers that we're pulling. And so the data is much more, and the findings are much more valid. But another key issue here is one study is not necessarily the answer. It's a series of studies that all point in exactly the same direction. So Sterling and I think we have 3 that are starting relatively soon, and then there will continue to be other studies where we'll tweak little things. And if they all come to the same answer, then you'll have that answer. But if each one is different, then it continues to be one of those things that we'll all talk about.
You want to do the?
Let's do it.
The ones? All right. Let's see what you have to say about this. Here we
go. Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with Charlie
Kirk. I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
I haven't posted on TikTok in a long time, but I'm gonna now because rest in peace, Bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier. Praise fucking be.
I do not, and I will not, ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
Charlie Kirk got shot? That's awful. That's so sad. Hope he recovers well.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie Kirk? Dang it. Shucks. Thoughts and prayers.
The reason why we have this video.
Can I just say this is not liberals in a nutshell?
No, of course. I totally agree with that. And that's the first thing we said when we made the video. The problem is all those had come out before we even posted our video. So he was shot sometime around noon local time, and by 5 p.m. we had our videos up, and that many reactions had already come out. That's one. That was the first one. There's probably another 100 videos that we saw that were like that, where people are walking around college campuses and every single person was saying to them that they were happy that Charlie Kirk was dead. And it's just like, and the problem is this, okay? Guys, I can point out to you people who are way more conservative and way more extreme than Charlie Kirk. The difference is with Charlie Kirk is he is Michael Jordan continually dunking on people over and over again. Even if you disagree with him, even if you think he was being intellectually disingenuous, there are literally millions of people watching him going to these campuses, and he would embarrass people over the microphone. That is the reason they hated him. It wasn't, the things he said weren't that extreme. I got a video here basically where he's going over, he's like, with homosexuality, is like, why do you care what other people do in their home? He's like defending homosexuality.
He said some stuff that made a lot of people, me included, a little bit like, come on.
Yeah, no, agreed. Me too. There was stuff he said that I didn't agree with. Yeah. That was my point. My point was the reason he was so, it wasn't that he was so, there's so many people way more extreme than him. It wasn't the extreme nature. I thought it wasn't the extreme nature. It was the fact that he was just so public in taking the discourse someplace and then just kind of mollywopping these people that were not prepared to debate him.
I mean, he's a professional debater, right? It's what he did. And I would argue that a lot of these people that made these reaction videos have probably watched in total about 30 seconds of Charlie Kirk in their whole life.
Yeah.
Right.
And they all look relatively young and don't really know what, again, how you started this conversation about what it means to be in a liberal democracy. I get the sense that maybe they don't quite know what that is yet.
Right.
Again, that probably didn't agree with anything that Charlie Kirk said, but we've got to have all positions on the table, even though I may hate every single one of them. You got to have them there. That's what this country stands for.
Okay, let me ask you something. Do you notice there's one side of the aisle that seems to be more open to debate than the others?
I don't necessarily agree that there's one side that's more or less. The gatekeepers won't have us on for shit.
Yeah.
And we'll have bigger platforms than them. I will debate anyone. I've been on 500 podcast episodes with other people's shit. There is nobody I won't take on. But whenever I ask these other people to come on, unless it's Destiny, Jasmine Jafar, or Farhar Khalidi, they run and hide. Every single one of them will run in. They will not have a debate.
Why do you think that is? Because I'm actually really curious as well. Because when Sterling and I talked about this, I brought it to my team, and they were kind of like, "Oh, you can't do that." And I still have not. This comes back to like that New York Post article that was about you. So a bunch of the folks that I work with, they hear about Sterling Cooper, and they're like, "We can't work with him. Look at this New York Post article."
The New York Post article, by the way, is that I don't like women who wear jeans on a date.
Yeah. So can I? But
really?
Can I ask?
Why?
Can I ask each
Is anyone wearing jeans right now?
We're gonna. I'm gonna give you an oversimplified answer.
Hang on. She just asked
But
me
no,
a question.
Yeah, but why?
What?
Can you say that again?
Can I ask why you don't like when girls wear jeans?
I would love to answer that question because that's a reasonable response. It's a personal preference. I would much prefer a woman I'm taking out on a date to dress in a more feminine way.
Where are you taking her?
To dinner.
Can I ask you about
Where's dinner?
Oh, it depends which city I'm in.
It depends.
Cracker
where.
Barrel.
Can I ask about the double standard here, though?
Time out, Matthew. Go ahead. Hold on. Time out. Go ahead, Matthew.
Can I ask about the double standard here? How many of you, like I don't date women, right? But how many? It seems to me that it's almost a cliche that women are dressing men. Like men need to wear certain. Like how many times have you been on a date where you've kind of or had a relationship with someone where you've kind of said, you should wear this, you shouldn't wear that?
I think dating for looks is masculine.
So you don't think that it's a cliche that I've
definitely seen it. I've never had it happen to me, but I've definitely seen it happen before.
Yeah. So it was a little bit like, wait a second here. I thought like women, it's so common it's a cliche that women tell men what to wear, and all of a sudden it's not okay
to tell me what to wear, though. Like,
This is the fourth conservative thing that you have said.
No, it's
since you've been on here.
It's not conservative or liberal.
But you're talking about the double standard. Here's the double standard. If a woman expresses a preference, according to progressives, there's nothing wrong with it. If a man expresses a preference, meaning I want to date someone who's young and skinny, he is a misogynist. There's the double standard. As a saying, when you're saying you're calling out the double standard, like that is what conservatives believe. Like have it both ways. Like feminism is this. men and women want equal rights, but men still have to pay for dinner. That's what feminism equals right now. That's the double standard. That's what we're talking about. So you talk about a double standard. Your earlier question that you were asking about why one side wants to debate more than the other, the people right of center are less offended by things, just in general. I feel like as a man, I don't have the privilege to ever be offended. If somebody were to call me names because of where I'm from, my ethnicity, or my religion, I might disagree with them. I might debate them, but offended is I can't afford offended. When I was in the military and people would make fun of me if someone made fun of me, the idea of me being offended, playing high school football, maybe growing up as a Protestant in Texas, we grow up just understanding the idea of being offended is not something we are privileged to do. I do feel like when we go about offended, there's people on the other side that tend to be more offended, and because of that, they're less likely to engage in certain debates. So basically, it's like the way I silence them. Like, do you think Jimmy Kimmel would ever debate me? Of course. Of course not. If I had a platform as big as Jimmy Kimmel, he would never dream of coming on, because I might actually show some data or stuff that he can't countervene, and that's the problem for him. He needs to just express, hey, these are the feelings that I have, and having the discussion with you is beneath me, so I'm not going to have a discussion with you. That's what I think is different. And by the way, there are conservative content creators who do the same thing, who won't engage with us as well. But it's way more
of them, actually.
Yeah, but they won't, because the problem is in our case, because we're both very moderate. They don't want us on. Not because we're going to say things that they disagree with, but because a lot of their audience is going to start agreeing with us. That's what they're really afraid of. Love you, Tom Bilyeu. Tom Bilyeu doesn't want us on because a lot of his audience is going to agree with us. The same. Like,
Tom Bilyeu's wife doesn't want us on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of these guys, I think you got like awesome, but like they're going to start agreeing with us, and that's the problem that people are going to have. Anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I have to call this one up and then host it.
I feel like a lot of people that scream for like the being more tolerant are like the least tolerant people.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
They're like, everybody should be tolerant.
Yeah, just like,
and they're not.
I believe in everyone's personal freedom until, like, you can swing your fist in any direction you want until you get to my face, and you can't yell fire in a movie theater, and you cannot incite violence. And here's the thing. Freedom of speech, to me, even includes defamation and slander. You have the freedom to slander me. I have now the freedom to sue you back. That's how it works. And here's the most important thing. Freedom of speech includes stupid speech. Freedom of speech includes deliberate lies. And the reason why is because when I'm looking into a political candidate and then I find out that he believes the earth is flat, I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for free speech. Now I know to not vote for him. Freedom of speech works both ways. That's why you want ignorant people to say stupid shit so you know who to not vote for. That's the part of freedom of speech that people miss the most. They think freedom of speech is only good speech. It's not. Freedom of speech is also stupid speech. And that's why it's very important to do that, because if you don't have that understanding, then you're just like, I'm going to a doctor who doesn't believe in natural selection. That's a fucking problem. Like, that's an issue. You don't believe in biology? Wait, what? It's like, you think antibiotics aren't real? Like, that's a problem. So that's something you'd like to know ahead of time. And that's why I'm very much pro freedom of speech, even when people deliberately, shout out to the London Times for lying about me, like deliberately lying about me. Yeah.
So coming back to the Charlie Kirk thing in the late night show. So it seems that I only saw just a little.
By the way, I don't want him canceled. That was not me. And I don't think there's any legal reason for him to be canceled. But what happened is he had the freedom to say what he wanted to say, and then those affiliates had the freedom to cancel him. Okay. They both expressed their first. Yeah, they both expressed, like, you have the right. Like, you have the right to sit there and talk shit to me in front of my girlfriend, and then I have the right to break your nose. Like, if you put your hands on me. Now, that's a little bit more than freedom of speech. That's me defending myself. But like that's the problem. It's like Sadia Khan had the right to go after Goob, and then John Dorsey, and then Goob had the right to go right back after Sadia Khan and show the waist trainer, the waist filters, and the fact that she was lying about her degree. That's how freedom of speech is supposed to work. In places like Australia, places like Canada, and places like the UK, if you say the wrong thing, they will freeze your bank account, they will cancel you. In the United Kingdom, they have arrested over 5,000 people for wrong think and saying things, for misgendering people and stuff like that. Again, if somebody is a man and wants to be considered a woman, I think you have the right to want to be considered a woman. You just don't have the right to put me in jail jail because I misgender you. That is madness. If somebody says something horrible, they were called one of my nieces or nephews some horrible racial slur, I think that person, maybe you expel them, but they should never go to jail for that. That is madness right there. That's not how a liberal democracy works. That's Venezuela. You can't do, that's Russia. In Russia, you can't go and say, you know what, I really don't like Vladimir Putin. Screw that guy. See how well that works for you. See how long you make it in Russia saying
Should they go to jail if they say the Longhorns suck?
If they say Longhorns suck, listen.
Yes. That's only in Texas.
What did Sam Smith wrote that?
I can offend Mike. The Longhorns suck.
They talk shit. We score 60. Hook 'em horns.
All right, I got this one. I got this one for you here. Let's. This is more to. I think. Let me see if I can back this up again.
Group. I do not have hate.
So just so I can get it on my camera. So Instagram,
don't worry, we
hi.
got plenty of cameras, but yeah.
But yes, so you do not hate the LGBT community,
No,
and Turning Point is not against LGBT.
No, how could I hate that which I have a heart for?
Thank you.
And I might not agree at that for some of the lifestyle choices that some people make, but of course not. And if someone said, Charlie, what's your view on marriage? I say, I believe marriage is between one man and one woman. But if you ask me, what do I have hate in my heart for somebody that doesn't choose the lifestyle that I believe that God laid out in the scriptures? Of course not.
And now I'm not. ICE.
What does that stand for?
Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. Hey, don't touch it.
What are you doing?
Don't let her have her emotions, man. Just listen.
Have a nice day.
Listen, I'm not saying that she was right.
Let's have a conversation.
She was wrong for that. But you gotta show yourself.
Sorry,
If you really love her, you let her go.
No, 100%, guys. I'm not gonna press. Thank you. See, I'm not gonna. No, that's not. Hey, put it on mine. We gotta go shortly. I
got a question.
Sure. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
I don't think I told you. My name's Mercury.
Nice to meet you. Well, nice to re-meet you, I should say.
What do you hope to get out of this? Why are you here?
Okay, I've been asked that question a lot. First of all, that question should not even have to be asked, but when people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When church starts happening, they fall apart. When civilization stops talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. Whether it be the great genocide, the horrible genocides of the last 100 years, people stop talking with each other because they lose their humanity. I wish we could be here without having my hat thrown off and stuff, but what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
Your father peddles lies. I'm not a white supremacist. Honestly, shame on him. For someone that runs an organization called Blexit, do you even know what Blexit is? I do not. It's literally, we employ 40 Black Americans that work in Atlanta, Chicago, and Philadelphia, trying to improve the well-being of inner-city Black America. What has your father ever done for inner-city Black America other than call me a white supremacist? And by the way, secondly, it's just so ridiculous. It's like, it's somehow
people for your companies or whatever you do does not make you a white supremacist.
What is a white supremacist?
A white supremacist is somebody who takes advantage and believes that they are higher than everybody else.
Do I believe that?
I have no idea.
Okay, exactly. And so there's no evidence whatsoever, and yet people go around sloppily saying, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. It is so destructive to our dialogue. It's destructive to us coming together as a country, and there's nothing to support it whatsoever. So thank you for your time.
There you go.
Oh, okay, awesome. There was another one he did where he talked about he talked about the whole thing with I don't hate gay people, but I don't know if we have the other one. But he goes off and he starts talking about, he's questioning the guys like, why are you so hateful? Why do you care what other people do in their bedroom? And I was like, whoa! I was listening to it, and then he goes off and because his belief in Christianity, he talked about Jesus, eating with the tax collectors and the prostitutes, right? And so it's one of these things where it's like.
I have that one.
Can you play that one?
I think I do.
Yeah, it's like
this is the one you gave me.
Hey, Mr. Kirk, thanks for coming out tonight.
Yeah.
I got a question for you real quick. Up until about 5 years ago when gay marriage was legalized nationwide, the conservative movement has been explicitly pro-traditional family. Now, both you and your organization advocate for the acceptance of anti-Christian, immoral lifestyles like homosexuality and transsexuality, going as far to invite drag queens like Lady MAGA to your events. It seems to me and anyone who's paying attention that conservatives just believe whatever liberals believed 5 years ago. Right now, there's a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and... Oh, excuse me. Phone shut off.
Go back to your notes. That's probably where you saved it. You got to like push double tap and then go over.
Right now, there is a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and rebranding pedophiles as minor attracted persons. 5 years from now, will you be promoting child drag queen shows? Will child abuse become part of the conservative platform?
Boy, that's a slippery slope fallacy if I've ever seen one. First of all, I've never invited a drag queen to come to any Turning Point USA event. I was at Politicon, and an individual by the name of Lady MAGA came up, and I took a picture, and she walked away. Secondly, let me ask you a question. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
So are you a proud Trump supporter?
Of course.
So are you sickened that he had a gay man speak at his convention?
Yes.
Then you're not a Trump supporter, my friend. Thank you very much. Let me ask you another question. Should he return the money of Peter Thiel, an openly gay man who supports his campaign?
No, if it helps him strategically,
okay.
sure he can.
Should he stop talking to Tammy Bruce, who's an open lesbian that's a Fox News contributor?
If it's affecting his ideas, then probably, yeah.
Okay, so you say you're a Trump supporter, yet you have all these issues and these disagreements with him. Let me be very clear about my position. My personal position. I'm a Christian first and foremost, then an American, then a constitutionalist, then a conservative. In that order. I believe marriage, biblically, if we want to have a biblical and theological discussion, as articulated in the greatest book ever to exist in the history of the world, the Holy Bible. Marriage in the Holy Bible is one man, one woman. I also do not believe in the sort of rhetoric that some people engage in, that all of a sudden that they say there's no place for gay people in the conservative movement. I do not believe that.
That's not conservative.
And let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question then?
Sure, go for it.
So, the American family, liberty, freedom, the Constitution, our history, veterans. That's what we're conserving. I'll get to you later, though. Don't worry. So let me ask you a question. What if you had your way? What would you do with gay people in America?
What would I do with them? I wouldn't.
Yeah, because they're not allowed in the conservative movement. So would you just kick them out anytime they show up at a Republican Party? If you were in charge, like what would you say? You can't be part of the Republican Party.
If somebody is advocating for being openly homosexual, yeah, they should not be part of the conservative movement.
So I just want to go through the list. Guy Benson, no place in the conservative movement. Dave Rubin, no place in the conservative movement. Peter Thiel, no place in the conservative movement. So that just to go down the list.
If they are supporting open homosexuality.
So
yeah, no
I'm going to ask a very respectful question, as respectfully as I can. What does what they do in their private life concern you so much that you have to go up in front of a crowd? And
it is against God. That is
so. Let me ask
Are
you
you
a
a
question.
Christian or not?
Do we live in a theocracy? Yes or no? No. Do we live in a theocracy?
You said you're a Christian.
I am a Christian. And do you know what? And guess what? I will say this. Part of being a Christian is appropriately interpreting what the theological says for the individual, but also means to be long-suffering and patient and loving and kind. Jesus Christ talked to all people. Jesus Christ went and did his ministry through Judea and Samaria, and he had dinner with tax collectors, and he had dinner with prostitutes, and he did his ministry in every part of the Mediterranean. What it means to be a Christian, my friend, is to be open-minded but firm in your beliefs, so you can have that belief. But if you say there's something inherently wrong with communicating or associating just because they make different personal decisions than you, sir, are not a conservative. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah,
that's the one you wanted.
Yeah, listen, I don't know what you guys believe, but that doesn't sound like an alt-right extremist to me.
Yeah.
Maybe, again, like what I said before, the reason why so many liberals hated Charlie Kirk was not because he was an extremist. The reason why they hated him was because he embarrassed liberals every week. He would do these college campus tours, and it was 100 L's in a row is what these people would take. And I think that had more to do with it than anything else.
I mean, that's what I meant when I said that I think most of these people who we've seen those really disgusting reaction videos from would never have even watched anything.
Of course.
Ever. They would never have taken 2 minutes to listen to him actually debate someone and express his ideas like that.
All they've seen is the media that they're being presented to, which is a lot like aligned with their algorithm. And when you have a tainted algorithm, I think that the issue isn't whether or not you supported Charlie's ideas or didn't, whether or not you're mourning him or celebrating his death. I don't think that that's the issue. the bigger picture issue. The bigger picture issue is that I didn't see any issues or any videos at all of anyone celebrating him. I just saw people complaining about people celebrating his death.
Yeah.
I didn't see anyone celebrating his death, but I'm very liberal. So the fact that like none of the people in my that I went to college with that studied women's studies alongside me, none of them were celebrating, so I just didn't know. Like, it's just all about what you're seeing. That's dividing us.
This goes back to what Matthew was saying before. It's exactly right. So when we did the election night, Eden was here. Yeah. When we did the election night, one of the things I said before is I'm looking for liberal female content creators to come on the election night Access Vegas we were doing. Because if, according to my algorithm, there was no one voting for Kamala Harris, like no one. I go on my friend show, PWF. I go on PWF show, and he goes, I think Kamala Harris is going to get 75% of the vote. I'm like, bro, what is your algorithm telling you that Kamala Harris is going to get 75% of the vote? Like, bro, she might win. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but like that sounds nuts to me. And then I just realized, like, wow, we are divided because big tech has just made these like bubbles for us, and that's why like I listen to a lot of liberal podcasts, and I try to follow a lot of content creators, Young Turks and people like that, because I want my algorithm to just be a little bit more open when it comes to some of this content discussion. But that when I see that a lot of people don't like, if you play that video for someone who really hated Charlie Kirk, they have a very hard time dealing with it because they're like, oh wait, maybe what I was told about him wasn't accurate.
I mean, literally, like that guy said, they thought he was a white supremacist.
Yeah,
that's because we live in the age of like Instagram, where the attention span is what, so many
45 seconds.
So if
and that's a long time.
Yeah. Well,
I also think with social media, it's easy to cherry pick whatever point you're trying to drive. So if they're trying to drive this like liberals are celebrating a death, like, yeah, you can go find like the 8 most mentally ill people on earth and put them on Fox News, but that's not the majority. That's not representative.
I got something, but you wanted to say something.
Well,
Go ahead.
Let's put it this way. During COVID, I left the left and moved to Florida. That was completely open and really opened my eyes to how much the media, and my background is journalism, my background is media, to see how they spit so much out and so much hate. And I drive a Cybertruck. And while I'm driving that Cybertruck in Florida, you can see the difference in people. And I saw mothers with their children yelling at my car at a stoplight. And it still happens to this day. Or men, sometimes it's not so much, but it's happened to me with old men yelling at me because of Elon Musk when I put money down on this in 2019. And I said, excuse me, sir, I've got 2 grandkids in the back. Do you mind? So I don't know. I just see a lot of hate for no reason. And I'm afraid right now. I'm shaking to bring this up. I lived in Vegas for 22 years. My heart is here. Working with Live Nation and celebrities and everything that I do on tour, I'm scared to even say my opinion of being canceled and losing my job. But I've sat in both seats. And I'll say this, there wasn't any rioting, but we had a communal with everybody went to the beach in Cocoa Beach when he was assassinated, and you didn't see any looting, you didn't see any like bad things happen, you felt love. I think that this man, and I wasn't a follower of Charlie, I don't know much about him, but what I did see is he was out preaching his truth on his platform, believing in what he believed with the Bible, and he has every right to have his own opinion. And that's just where I stand with that. So
I read a research study once, and I don't remember who it was, but until the 1990s, the advertising world and the media world recognized that sex sells.
Yes.
And then around the early 90s,
talking to the mic.
Around the early 90s, the media discovered that yes, sex does sell, but anger sells even more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we are in a situation where before the 90s, you had this was a little bit before my time, but you had 30 minutes of news at night, and you had your morning newspaper. Now we have 24-hour news and online all the time. And it is, how do we get eyeballs? And if I'm a marketer by background, I know that the best thing to do to get somebody to come is to get them riled up, get them excited, and get them hating on something, get them angry. And that's the situation that we're in. And I think regardless of whether we're liberal like you and I, or whether we're conservative, we need to find ways to bridge that gap and to overcome that and figure out what's next. So yes, sex was 1960s. Anger was the early 2000s. What's next?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
So Sterling, you sent me a text today about Destiny's being canceled on Twitch, right?
You told me that was like 2 years old.
That was from
I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
No,
So you told me-
I
you
did.
told
I
me
did.
too.
So what's because everybody hates Destiny, including me. But the thing is like he was just on Piers Morgan and being the typical shit human being he is. And what happens is people really want that vindication. They want it. They want that back, right? They want to have that. It like one of the more to your point. One of the things is if you title certain things, you use certain words, especially on YouTube. If you use it in your titles, like if you say "rage quits" or "instantly regrets it" or heated debate, that kind of stuff. People want that. They want like outrage and then instant vindication of it, right? And that's exactly what was going on with the notice you sent me. I know, I recognize it because I saw it 2 years or 3 years ago.
It made the rounds.
The reason why it made the rounds is because people wanted that instant vindication. Also, well, he was a piece of shit on Piers Morgan, and look, Twitch dumped him. No, Twitch dumped him like in 2022. But people kept, it was not just you, but other people were sending it to me and DMing it to me on Instagram and so, hey, did you see what happened? I'm like, dude, this happened ages ago.
He got kicked off of Twitch for what was he doing? I can't remember what he said.
Probably mouthing off.
No, but he did so. No. I think. Man, I don't want to say something.
That's why
I thought he misgendered someone, and that's why he got kicked off.
No, after the show, I'll explain to you why he got kicked off Twitch. But because I can't even talk about it on YouTube. But the thing is the thing is like those kinds of things get reheated and rehashed because, like, again, the internet never forgets, but people have very short attention spans. So you can dig back through the archive and make it sound like it's something that just happened. I see. I'm stupid. Because I subscribe to some of these things, and sometimes they just show up in my algorithm. But it's like, women taking L's or guys taking L's or this and that. Everybody's taking an L right now. And what they do is they use these old memes from like 2019, 2018. I'm like, I saw this ages ago. Why are you putting this up? Because they're getting Elon bucks for it. You get paid for that engagement. That's why. So, yeah.
But what L is worth a life? That's all I have to say.
Yep, exactly. What do you want to go into next? What should we get to?
This is wild.
Okay, let me dig it up here.
You see this view too?
Do you like that? Hey, you like our view? Yeah, our $1 million view.
Where are we going next, guys?
Yeah.
We should take this to a round table. Some poker chips.
Give me a piece of that
cookie.
Give me that cookie. I don't know if I have that one.
You want a bite?
I want to bite.
Peanut butter.
Does it taste like a cookie, or does it taste like a piece of?
Are you like a germaphobe, or can I pass this?
Well, I'm super sensitive to caffeine. Yeah, so I probably okay.
Yeah. Former. Can I say this on here? I've partaken.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, it's good.
Prior. Let me put it out there, okay?
Yeah,
So I am very.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not powdery. It actually.
So
it
does
Very
taste.
good, but
Yeah.
it does hurt.
Here we go, guys.
The fuck is this one? Why are you liking her shit? What? You like that? You're liking this? You're liking her titties? Really? You asked her out already? Tell me.
No.
You want me to ask her for you?
No,
I can text her right now. I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna text her.
What I wanted to tell you is that
I'm gonna text her, and I'm gonna tell her like, oh, my boyfriend said that if you could have your number.
I got you a gift.
Oh, you got this one?
Yeah, I got you a gift.
Oh,
I hope you like it. You know.
See? Here, grab this. Grab this. Let me see. Oh, they're cute.
I know. Look at them. They're so pretty. Huh?
Yes.
That would work for me.
Damn. You know what? Never mind. You're cool. I love you.
I'm cool. What are you talking about?
Yes. Forget about everything I was talking about. Like if I talk shit on you.
Ladies, who here that would work on? Raise your hand if that would work on you. Chloe, anybody else? Yo.
To an extent.
Really? That would work on you? That's wild. Okay. That's funny. All right, so that's what you do, guys. Just buy her some cute
No,
shoes.
she doesn't have to deal with that.
Huh? No, that's right. She's the other woman. That's right.
She is the other woman.
That's incredible.
For the record, I'm not the other woman.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
I was going to ask, is anyone else here married? Am I the only one?
He's married. He's married. She's
You're married.
divorced.
I'm
You're
married.
My third engagement.
Third engagement.
We'll
okay.
see.
It doesn't sound like you're super confident.
We'll see where it goes.
Okay.
See if he keeps passing the test.
Yeah.
Is your fiance going to be listening to this? Okay.
I mean, if he is,
Praise not.
one strike,
What
you're
size
out.
shoe are you? Your shoe size?
8.
All right, her fiance, she's an 8. You didn't know this, all right? Jot it down, remember it.
I think she said that it wouldn't work for her, or it would work. Yeah, it would not work.
Just because it wouldn't
She should
work
get
doesn't mean you wouldn't appreciate
I got to host this
it, you know
one.
what I mean?
But I appreciate the gift and
Thoughtful gesture.
respecting me. I don't have to
And I'm an
settle.
8.5.
There we go.
Gaslight them to hell. You can gaslight them to hell. They'll never remember anything they said to you. You can trick them.
The comments are like, damn, third engagement.
Date an older woman.
The older they get, the less work it is for you. Don't you see that? They'll parade you around. Y'all get your early bird specials. And y'all be in bed by 7. You know what I mean? You'll be so well rested. All right. You can get they won't even mind you put on you look like a mummy at night, put with your skincare and your head wraps and your chin guards and your retainer. They won't even care. They'll just be happy you're there. They'll just be happy to be here. You see what I mean? You'll be so well rested. You'll get up when the sun comes up. You'll have dinner at Shoney's, 5:30 early bird. And you go home and do your skincare and bed it promptly at 7:30. All right? Some of y'all sleepy girls, you need an older man. Plus, they might leave you something. Plus, also, the older they get, you have to deal with things like cognitive decline, and you can gaslight them to hell. You can gaslight them to hell. They'll never remember anything they said to you. You can trick them. They start bringing some stuff up. You can just gaslight them and say they didn't say that. They won't even know the difference. You see what I mean? It's easier. You'll win every fight. So, the older they get, the more they might leave you. Family's going to hate you, but you might walk away with something. You know what I mean? So, how old can you go? It should be the question you're asking yourself. All right? How much of an age?
Yeah, shout out to Russell. I'm trying to get Russell to come on.
Michael
the show.
Sartain sees no lies here.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have that problem. Russell's talking about me, I think. Get that early bird special. All right. Yeah. No. Anybody have any thoughts on this? They fight less. CJ Sparks told me one time. This is years ago. She goes, "I like dating older men because the fight's all out of them. They don't fight anymore. They just kind of give in, do whatever you want."
So true.
Anybody have any thoughts about this? Dating older
From
men?
my perspective and experience, the older men that I have dealt with were very immature.
Immature,
Yes,
really?
Surprisingly, yes.
Okay. Anybody
That's why
else?
they're old and still single.
Old and still single?
Uh-oh.
I date younger guys, so I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't dated older.
So that's what I want to transition. Anybody else want to say anything about older men real quick?
I think it's easier. I mean, you were at my wedding. That was
Yes.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I think that the older you get, it's just less drama.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
less
easy.
testosterone, less fighting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get that early bird special in bed by 7.
But what about the ones that work out, take good care of themselves?
Gosh, that fucking TRT, man, makes you jacked at 47. What a crazy idea. No, I got it. So a lot of women do like older men for that reason, but some women like younger men. And so one of the things I wanted to explain the strategy, because I think a lot of women would be very interested in this. Ashley, can you describe how you travel? What exactly that you do when you travel? Can you explain it to us? It's so fascinating. Talking to the mic.
So, back during COVID, I actually was on Bumble and I matched with this guy, had a great connection with him. And then, like 2 weeks into it, he's like, "But I have to tell you, I live in South Africa." I'm like, what the fuck? But we had mutual friends because he was a musician. Anyway, so long story short with him, I flew 15 and a half hours across the world to hang out with a guy for like 3 weeks that I had never met.
Okay.
Wow.
So I took notes from him.
I was going to say you were dickmatized, but you never met him before, so I can't even go there.
No, but he actually was awesome. We're still friends. But that's when I learned that you can change your location on dating apps.
Do tell more about your strategy.
So I love to travel. What'd you say?
You're my idol.
So I love to travel. And honestly, I do it because who knows better where to go and what to do than local people? So when I know that I'm going on a trip, I will go ahead and set like all of my dating apps to that location
Ahead of time.
For several months.
I want to point this out. She does this for several months. So she doesn't have a ticket to go to that place. She knows that she's going to. Anyone want to guess who's going to pay for the ticket for her to go to?
Or I pay for my ticket, but
you
Well, that means you're not doing it right. You need to talk to talk to Eden over there. She'll straighten you out on that one.
This is a very.
We'll talk after.
This is a really common. I've never done it, but I've heard. I have a lot of gay friends who. It's very common in the gay community.
Yeah, it's great. And then there's like I just kind of jokingly put like my bio like, hey, who wants to trade like citizenships and stuff like that, things that are funny. Because actually, I do want a dual citizenship, but you know.
I have a question. What is the downside of that?
I mean, I guess the downside could be that you could meet somebody psycho and like something could happen to you.
In a situation like that?
Absolutely.
Human trafficking is the downside of that. Yeah. Something like that. Sex tourism.
Paris
something
was
like
a good
that.
story. Paris was a good story.
Worth it.
Worth it.
But no, honestly, that's why I do it a couple of months ahead of time because I can.
You get to know. You
can kind of know them.
You get to know the French guy who's going to simp on you. You get to know him beforehand. Got it.
And do you get your own hotel room and stuff like that, or do you stay with them?
Both. It depends.
If you're having trouble with this, please, Eden will help you.
I've
She'll
done
straighten
both.
you out.
I've done both.
Okay.
I think it sounds incredibly romantic in a lot of ways.
Like for instance, I was actually in Scotland when the Queen died.
Yeah.
And so the people that I had met, they were like, "Hey, everything's gonna shut down. Like it's gonna."
You gave them a boob to crown. The men that you met
You're
on
like a
Tinder.
reverse Tinder swindler.
I haven't taken any money from anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, okay, I need to get out of here. So I was like, where should I go? Ireland. I was like, I'll go to Ireland. Like, I'll be fine there. It's a different country if you go to Ireland.
Yep.
And so I set my location over there and met this guy and actually like talked to him for just the day. But I could tell that he was sane. And he was like, I actually have a room that I Airbnb sometimes. Come stay with me. Like, I'll take you hiking. I was like, sold. So I bought a ticket.
But you got to eat haggis while you're there. Okay.
He cooked for me. Yeah.
Actually, one more time. What do you do for a living?
Healthcare.
Healthcare. You're a nurse.
I work in
I'm
the
just
lab.
kidding. No, it just had nothing to do with the story. You're a nurse.
And where are we going for Christmas?
Where are we going? Where are we
Where
going?
for Christmas?
I think
What country are we decided on?
Which Airbnb in Marbella are we staying in?
Switzerland, and then Italy.
San Antonio, Ibiza. Where are we going?
Italy.
Montebello. Let's go.
Montebello.
Come on.
Wait, so with that in mind, I've got the perfect video for you. I think you need to change your tactics here.
It's a new viral dating trend that's happening with New York women. Girls are going to Midtown during the week. That's where pretty much all of the finance guys work. And that's where they get lunch. Girls are going to Midtown during the week and taking the finance bros salads from like Sweetgreen or Kava or whatever it is that they ordered for lunch and then go to the name on their salad order, stalk their LinkedIn, and then ask them out through LinkedIn. Like, that's what the slide-in is.
Can I tell you, these guys would be pissed. If I was coming
I
off
would
of
be
like
pissed.
5
I
hours
want
of
my
working and
$11
I'm
back.
waiting for my salad and someone took my salad order.
I can't say that I haven't stalked some people.
Yes, but would you go to like Starbucks or like Panera Bread or something like that when they put the name of
No,
the guy
'cause I
on
don't like
there to go-
Americans
to go,
anymore.
to go stalk them actually?
No, I've
They're
moved
not
on from
American- Not in
Americans.
America. Okay.
Okay, so
I've moved on from them.
she's not a passport bro. She's a passport sis. You guys see that?
Yes.
That's why. So we're having dinner, and she starts telling me the story, and I was like, I have to have you on the show because I have never heard of a passport sis before. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I've stayed in the UK and Wales.
I believe
and,
all of
like,
this. You're kidding me. You're a woman that can go around and you're treated well in every country that you go to.
Like,
because
honestly,
you meet men on dating apps.
One of my
Shocking.
best trips was
Shocking.
like southern Italy, and
Oh, that's shocking.
like,
Incredible.
Stayed with a
But
friend.
you've never felt the urge to go to Southeast Asia or the Philippines or
I was
Thailand.
I was going to ask, have you gone? Have
I
you
mean-
gone anywhere kind of not outside of Western Europe, places that are a
I've been
little
to
bit?
South Africa, like South Africa, Costa Rica, Mexico, all the UK places.
Seems like you're sticking to first world countries.
I was going to say
Portugal. Hey, I know.
You're not trying to pick up men in Namibia.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Mexico one time.
Yeah?
And we did. A girlfriend and I, we looked at each other. We were like, "This is where we die, or this is
where
like,
we die."
we don't ever make it home." Because we decided at like 4 a.m. that it was time for us to go home, and we were like, "How do we go home?" And we were on a little island, and we were in a neighborhood, and there were very few ways to get home. So we had to kind of ask for money from everybody that was there, and
Petition.
they called somebody that they knew that was a taxi driver that came and picked us up, and that was the only way that we got home. Otherwise, we were walking like 4
Life
miles
on
home.
easy mode.
So yeah, I mean, I do stick to the safer places because I travel alone usually.
Mm.
So yeah, but no, I've
This is
had
this is
situations where I'm
quite
like,
the hobby.
this time I probably should have died.
Passport sis.
I
like
got to
it.
flush out some of these super chats real quick here.
Okay.
Rational Redneck says people getting fired for celebrating Charlie really shows how out of touch the rest of the country they are. Why do they think this is okay?
Yep.
All right, Rational Redneck again. In response to Sadia, why do side chicks keep calling themselves high value women? Wouldn't the high value woman be the one with the wedding ring?
Not to a cheater.
Not to a cheater.
Cheater? No.
Yeah.
Redneck again. No shade towards Eden. They literally murdered a guy who wanted to talk. The time for talk is over. Now's the time for justice. What exactly kind of frontier justice?
Listen. He's in Utah, and there's going to be, he's going to be a capital murder trial.
Yeah.
Go
No
ahead.
Nut November approaches, taking all bets. Yeah. Everybody loses. Yes. 38-year-old single dude here, no kids. Is there hope?
Of course.
Michael?
What are you talking about, bro? Like, I'm 47 with no kids. I got 3 cats. I don't know what you're tripping about.
Yes.
It's all great. It's
Yes.
incredible.
He's a single cat dude living in an apartment
I'm
by himself.
I'm a dilf.
A dilf. Charlie Kirk was milquetoast moderate center right debate bro, and they assassinated him as a quote unquote nazi. What do you think they would do to us?
Yeah, if someone is having an open debate with you, they're not a fascist or those people who lived in Germany from 1939 to 1945. That's not that they're not going to have an open debate with you if that's who they are actually.
Yes. U.S. Marine here, Semper Fi. Always enjoy watching this show for the humor and the intelligent takes on dating, intersectional dynamics. Respect to USAF Captain Sartain and Swallow. Thank you. And last one, Days of Rage, political violence is primarily left. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for bringing us up.
Sean is coming after it today.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Where do we want to go next?
This one. Just type
Oh, okay.
Just type in wife.
Okay. Oh, no. I got a better one. Hang on.
Oh, you get this one? Okay.
No, I got it. Hang on.
All right, if you don't have that one, the T app.
Oh, T. There you go. Let's go this one.
You trusting anonymous bitches on this T app. Do not believe everything you read on there. I did a little experiment in the Denver T app area, okay? So I posted a man that I met in Arizona like a while ago that there's no way anybody in Denver would have talked to him or seen him or anything. Like he's never even been to Denver. Just to see if some bitches would say something to stir up. Posted it and I was like, we've been on some dates, things have been going well, just trying to see if like anybody else has been talking to him or seeing him. Some bitch commented, said we went on a date not too long ago. Like, bitch, you're a liar. And then I commented back on it and I was like, you're lying because I literally posted this guy who's not even from here. There's no way anybody would have gone on a date with him. So you're liar. These bitches straight up will just lie just to ruin some shit you have going on. And that's the other thing. Don't be posting your man because these bitches will come for him. I don't get why women trust other women just because they're women. Women are grimy as too. And I've even had some male friends that have had said about them that's out of pocket, like to the max. It's just not okay. So if you're gonna take anything from the T app, make sure you get receipts with it. Otherwise, don't believe anything these bitches are saying. People love to be messy just to be messy. Oh, and the bitch literally deleted her comment after I said that, so she knows she's lying. Losers, lame ass.
Ladies, do y'all not know women? That's my thing. Do y'all not know women? I know there's a lot of women who do. These be the same women who be like, they don't have no female friends because they understand how devious a lot of women are. The thing about women play in women's faces way more than men play in their faces, because when a man is in a woman's presence, she try to be aware. She's paying attention. A lot of women don't pay no attention to women.
So I thought this was a really interesting with the whole T-app thing. So I did this. I tried the same experiment. I started dating a girl from Kildare, Ireland, and she had been in the country for 72 hours. And I
changed the location.
Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah. How did y'all meet?
No, she was
Tinder?
she was here in Vegas, and she had not even been in town for a week. And we met up and we started talking or whatever. And as an experiment, because I knew for a fact she had never been to Vegas before, I knew for an absolute fact nobody here had ever gone out with her, whatever. I put her on the "Are we dating the same girl?" thing, and it just the fucking hate and the lies. It was just like, she's a prostitute, blah, blah, blah. Crazy. I was like, yo, bro. It's like, oh, I just went out with her last week. I'm like, she's been here 72 hours, bro. You're just lying. And the other thing is, me living here as long as I have, whenever I date someone and they go to the gym or whatever, it's just this cavalcade of fucking like girls just running their mouth and saying shit that isn't true. And after a while, I stopped even trying. So it's just one of the problems. Like the T app is fundamentally flawed because the information you get from it cannot be verified.
I love
That's
the
problem.
T app.
Huh?
I said I love the T app.
I mean, good for you. Like, I hopefully it works out for you. Try to verify some stuff that's on there. Like, there's no reason for people to tell the truth on there.
If you're close enough to the situation, though, there are some irrefutable things that can be
the only one that I've ever, like a guy that I've had a relationship with that has been on there, got roasted, and I can't say he lives here. I can't say, so I would give it away. But I will tell you, like, it got bad, and there were like hundreds of comments, and they were all verifiable. Only experience I've had, but
T-app is entertainment. That's all it is.
Exactly.
It's not information. It's just.
I agree.
It's the next evolution of like The Bachelor.
It's affirmation.
100%. That's my drama in my life is the T-app.
You focused on that
Mhm.
person. That's all it is affirmation, right? Move forward, move away from that. Anyone that has to be. Ugh.
Why are you looking? Like, seriously, he cheats on you because he loves you. How do you guys not understand this? Like, oh, I'm sorry. It's the wrong show. Wrong show.
Because he doesn't
Wrong
have
show.
other wives.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
All right, I'll just call this up on Instagram because it's easier to do.
This is your question.
I trust my wife.
Ready?
Yes.
Do it, Mom! Do it!
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
If you hit me, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
This is your practice.
What was that?
Oh!
Not gonna lie, I trust my wife. She's a dead ass.
I trust my wife. I think. I don't know. I have no idea.
We're about to have some fun. Okay.
I trust my wife.
So that's what we're doing after.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna do that afterwards. You guys excited?
Leader hose.
Because I trust all of you. I see the upper body strength and the act. I'm excited. You guys can all do that to me. That sounds incredible.
I'm
Does
sorry.
that
I've
sound
been married for almost 30 years. There's no way in hell I would let my wife do that.
Not happening.
Yes, I do have that one.
Yeah, the Wizard Liz got cheated on, yet I don't understand why the whole world is so shocked. Like, didn't y'all see that coming? Of course, he cheats on her. The woman is perfect. The woman has it all. Like, did y'all really believe that a man is looking for a woman who has it all? Yeah, it's a beautiful in the beginning. It's nice. It nourishes the soul. It feeds the ego. But once he has that, he experienced that, he'll go and look for someone else who's lower. He's gonna go and look for a woman where he can feel superior. Because men, no matter how great they are, they can never be as great as women. Because women get their strength and their high self-esteem from the inside, from the work they have put on themselves. Men can only feel that, the high self-esteem and the strength, when they feel superior next to a woman. And I'm not saying that the other woman is lower than the Wizard Liz. Matter of fact, I sent her a lot of love. She's a girl's girl. She went and she told her immediately. I'm 1000% sure he was hoping or assuming that she is, and that is it. Y'all need to understand the only men who doesn't cheat on their wives are the men who fear God, and they don't do this for their wife's sake. They do this because they fear the punishment on the judgment day, and that is it. Y'all need to master living with the fact that these creatures are so weak, and women are goddesses. They have no self-control. They are so brainwashed through the centuries. They believe from the bottom of their hearts that it's by nature they deserve experiencing multiple women at once. Y'all need to understand there is no remedy.
Yeah,
who hurt you?
Yeah, there's no trauma there. That's incredible. Anybody have anything you want to say before? You agree with her.
come on.
Which part? Just specifically, go ahead, Paris. What are the things you agree with? Microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I agree because I genuinely think men do not like superior women for real.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Anybody else?
I agree to an extent. I've said this before on this show. One of my very strict rules when it comes to dating is I will not entertain a man who can't access his dream girl. Because I think if that man hasn't experienced that, for one, you're not his dream girl. Yes. And the best case scenario is he never becomes a man who can have a dream girl. And the worst case scenario is he elevates and leaves you because you're not his dream girl.
Exactly.
Okay. Anybody else?
Women want dread.
Go ahead.
As far as this goes, whenever they talk about what she's saying, where if they can't access their dream girl, I've dated men that make less than me and it never works out.
Right, but this guy did access his dream girl, the Wizard Liz, right? So.
But was she? In the sense of oh, she has it all. She's this.
Hold on.
She's that.
We're gonna get there.
Right. So
we're gonna get there.
The one thing I do notice too is that there's this thing on social media where it's the traditional woman is superior and high value in this, except I never see them get rewarded. What I do see get rewarded is, the girls that maybe are looked down on in a certain way for certain reasons that I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
You can say whatever you want, girl.
Okay. Yeah, the girls that are the OF models and the girls that are retired prostitutes and the girls that do this stuff, those are the ones that end up in some of the marriages that I see so happy because they're listen, they are being rewarded. So whenever I see the girl that's traditional and follows God and does all the things, those are the ones that end up getting cheated on. And it might not be every time, but in my experience, it's been the majority. That's at least what I'm seeing.
And they're always trying to humble those type of women.
Okay.
Yeah, they
All right,
are.
so I'm gonna disabuse you guys of something. Ready? There is no man who is intimidated by what you do for a living. We don't give a fuck. This whole thing about being intimidated and she was the perfect woman and of course she cheated. This is nonsensical cope bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you exactly what happened here. Okay. She found a guy who was gaslighting the ever living shit out of her. If you guys watch the Wizard Liz videos, this guy wrote a book about Wizard Liz. He was obsessed. He complimented her every day. Do you guys remember he was writing poetry about her? All kinds of shit. Were there no alarm bells going on here? No. What happened was he saw a woman that was very easy to gaslight, and he gaslit the shit out of her. That's why he cheated on her. It wasn't anything to do with, oh, she was perfect. No. What's happened is the Wizard Liz and several other women like her have such unreasonable beliefs about what they want in a relationship that when a guy acted like a complete automaton simp, she got into a relationship not realizing how incredibly stupid the whole thing was. And that's why she got cheated on. Not because of this nonsense about, oh, only men who fear God don't cheat. Stop it. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's insulting even listening to this nonsense. No. Again, I respect she can have her opinion, whatever. That woman is hurt. That's why she's saying this nonsense that she's saying. Are there men out there that don't cheat? Yes, there are. Somewhere. I don't know where they are, but no, I'm just kidding. No, most men don't cheat, actually. That's the funny thing. If you were to explain that to her, most men don't cheat. The real issue is the woman who was making that video, I could introduce her to 1 million men that don't cheat, and she wouldn't be interested in one of them. Not one single one of them. And so the problem is men. That's the issue. The idea, dude, you guys should listen. This guy was gaslighting the shit out of Wizard Liz from the jump. It wasn't that she was perfect. It's that what happened was because she was so susceptible to this fantasy, this unrealistic fantasy about a relationship, this guy's like, okay, was she susceptible to this unrealistic fantasy? Strippers do this all the time to guys when they come into the strip club.
So she was an experiment.
Maybe she was an experiment, but she kept showing that she was running the same zone defense over and over again, so he knew what play to call. That, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was the same. He understood the strategy because her. No offense to Wizard Liz, she has when women are that popular and attractive, privilege is invisible to those who have it. She has no idea how hard it is for men to date or the actual situation that most women have to deal with. She lives in some fantasy world, and she expected a man to be this just incredible, write poetry and leave rose petals at my feet every single day. She believed that was the relationship. That was a realistic relationship for her. So when a man fulfilled that, even though he didn't give a fuck about her, she accepted it openly. And then later on, people are like, well, she was perfect. She wasn't perfect. She's I listened to her shit. I would not want to date Wizard Liz. No offense. She's a pretty girl. But like the idea of me dealing with somebody who needs that much attention, that is fucking crazy. There is no way I could make that work. So no, I don't agree with her at all. If that woman wants to come on here and debate me, we can do it. But that is nonsense. The idea, like, again, she got tricked because she let everybody know what her strategy was. And that's essentially what happened. So this idea that it's because she was perfect, please stop it. And ladies, please stop telling your friends that the guy broke up with you because he was intimidated by your job. Please stop giving them this stupid advice. No one is intimidated by your job. No one is intimidated by your job. I'm 100 pounds heavier than you. I'm not intimidated by shit that you do. I have a preference. I don't like pickles. I have a preference for not liking pickles. It doesn't mean I'm intimidated by pickles.
And you love tomatoes, but what would you tell your daughter? What would you tell your daughter she deserves? What would you tell your daughter that she should have?
What I would tell my daughter is to have a realistic relationship with a boyfriend where sometimes he's going to be happy and sometimes he's going to be sad, and sometimes you're going to be happy and sometimes you're going to be sad, and sometimes he's going to be concerned with his own issues and sometimes you're going to be concerned with your own issues. And it's fine, and you need to have some level of like give and take and some turpitude that's going on there, and that's fine. But be realistic about what the relationship is, and also understand it's like when you guys are together, sometimes you have to do things to maintain a physical spark or a physical chemistry. It's not, but when he doesn't feel that way, it's not because he's bad. Let me say something else. I'm gonna say something else. I meant to say this before. There is nothing wrong with being in a monogamous relationship with somebody, straight, gay, whatever. There's nothing wrong with it. You're probably happier. The data shows that you're probably happier. Mm-hmm. But for all those guys out there, if you want to date multiple women at the same time, I am here to tell you that is totally okay. You are not a fucking bad person because you want to date multiple women at once. And you're not a good person because you want to be monogamous. I don't give a shit what you believe. That is ridiculous. And I'm so sick of people trying to shame men because, again, when I was 22, there were a bunch of girls that went to UT Austin that were 22, and I would have dated any of them, Sterling, and I would have probably married one of them because I know girls liked me when I was 22. They wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire. And then when I started making a bunch of money, then all of a sudden I start dating girls, and they're in their 20s, and they're like, why don't you want to settle down? You didn't want to settle down when you were 22, did you? But now I need to settle down? Is that what's supposed to go on? It's this fucking massive double standard. No, I'm sorry.
I don't think it's a double standard. I think it's a different standard.
No, it's a different standard because the genders are different.
Well,
it's a different standard because the genders are different. But I'm saying, I'm just so, like, I do think men at some point in their life, this is another controversial statement. Men need experience with women to get better at dating. Women do not need experience with men to get better at dating.
No, I think we absolutely do.
When women have more experience with men when it comes to dating, they become, generally, not all the time, they become jaded. They start believe. I've never seen a woman who's like dated 100 dudes and then afterwards has some healthy belief about a relationship. It's always boss bitch energy and there's nothing else. Sterling, do you?
Yeah, it's never easier. to date a girl who's had like a ton of relationships.
Says
is
the
never
person
easy.
that-
Well, are these relationships or sexual partners?
Both.
No, you
Both.
just got done saying how you went through like what that whole sabbatical age of like, oh hey, I'm ready to settle down now. Like, why should I have to settle down with these people in the future? Like, you get to that place, and I'm frustrated. You have a double standard with what you just said.
No, what I'm saying is, like, listen.
By the way, a sabbatical would be by choice.
Yes. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I was 22, when I was 25, I liked girls that were 25, and they weren't interested in me. They didn't want to commit. They wanted to date older, more high status men. Then when I was successful in my 40s, then the 25-year-olds were like, why don't you want to settle down with me? And my response is, you didn't want to settle down when I was 25. You got on the yacht when you were 22 because you went through puberty. I bought the yacht. That's the difference. And so now there's no reason why I should have to want to settle down. Now, personally, I do want to settle. I'm 47. I do want to settle down. I'm not talking about me specifically. I'm saying what I'm here is to tell you guys out there.
Can I have your yacht when you settle down?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sick and tired of men being shamed because they don't want to settle down. Stop it. I'm here to tell. If you need someone to tell you, I'm here to absolve you. You can date as many women as you want and be happy, but you'll probably be happier if you
What
get into
about
a
the
relationship. Go
guys
ahead.
that are not true with their intentions?
Right, you have to
Of
live
course,
your
agree.
truth.
I totally agree with that. Yeah,
They
they should be.
they would say that they will want to settle down, and then as the relationship progresses, I don't want to.
And by the way,
you should get some guy friends who are going to be honest with you.
Yes.
Who don't want to fuck you, who are going to be honest with you about the average guy's intention, because they can tell me if I'm wrong, but we can sniff those fuckers out a mile away.
So obvious to us, man. Oh, really? So he's an NFT influencer, and he does an MLM scheme. Yeah, this guy is. I'm sure that Patek watch he has isn't fake at all. Again, bro, like, what do you? Yeah, great choice. Date that guy. I'm sure that's what's. I'm sure he's not going to gaslight you at all. It's like, seriously, just dude. You want to know why grandma is so smart? You know why grandma can tell when you're pregnant in like 2 seconds? You want to know why? Because grandma, her body is not producing estrogen anymore. She doesn't have all these crazy emotions flowing through her brain, but she has all the experience. I listen to grandma. Grandma knows what she's talking about. Grandma, when you have that super hot boyfriend, grandma, I don't know what to do. I like him so much. Grandma is not turned on by him like you are. Grandma can tell he's a fuckboy. Grandma knows. Like, why don't you listen to grandma or your uncle or your dad or your brother? Like, have someone in your life who doesn't have a sexual interest in talking to you. Not some dude who you put in the friend zone who's secretly trying to not that.
I don't have any straight friends.
Huh?
I don't have any straight male friends.
I'm your fucking friend. What are you talking about?
Are you?
Yes, of course I am. What are you talking about? I invite you to shit. What are you? Whatever. But that's the thing. Like, this drove me crazy when I saw this. Ladies, the problem with this kind of stuff is like, okay, if I do something wrong, if you do something wrong in your business, if you do something wrong in your business, we have to take feedback. You want to know like Jeff Bezos? One of the things that I know about Jeff Bezos when I saw who he married is he doesn't have 6 friends in his life who can tell him to go fuck off. He does not have 6 friends in his life who can tell him when he's fucking up. As a man, if I'm screwing up, I have to fix the problem. If I don't fix the problem, it'll be there I have to take accountability because no one else is going to do it. When you have Wizard Liz, or when you have this woman, or when you have Chris G.Q. Perry, or Justin Baldoni, or Derek Jackson, or Will Hitchens, or these other people who just pander to women, what they're doing is hurting you by not allowing you to take accountability for the mistakes that you've made. If you are with a man who abuses you, that's terrible and you should get away from him. If it's the 4th relationship in a row and a guy's abusing you, whose fault is it now? Whose fault is it now? But that's the problem. Not if you listen to Chris G.Q. Barry. No. It's always the man's fault. And my point is, if you are not allowing yourself to take any constructive criticism for the things that you do wrong, you're going to be stuck. And you're not going to be this pretty forever. Sorry to tell you guys this. You're not going to be this pretty forever. And when you aren't, then all of a sudden this fucking brick wall hits you. And you come to the realization, it's like, oh, damn, these guys were just listening to my bullshit because they were trying to smash. Like, I really wasn't right about, dude, this one girl.
But the Wizard Liz, she's 23.
Yeah.
She's learning, but in the public eye, and people are trying to dunk on her because she got cheated on, but I don't think.
Oh, I'm not dunking her got cheated on. I'm dunking her because she actually believed that was what a relationship was supposed to look like.
But
That's
she's
crazy.
23. We all have to live through trial and error. I don't think,
Well,
I hate the word high value, but I don't think being a woman with standards, I don't think you're immune to bad treatment. I think it's how you handle that.
Sure.
And in my opinion, she handled it correctly. She's pregnant, all this, she left him.
Yeah.
Like she left him, she's learning, she's growing.
But honestly, Eden, I would rather listen to your advice on women than listen to hers.
Thank you.
No, I'm serious. You're honest about some of this. You're not. You're even if you say stuff that's cynical, I still would rather listen to you than her. So this 23-year-old woman, there's listening. A lot more women are listening to her than listening to me. And I'm going to tell you the truth, ladies. Ready? You want to understand men? Stop fucking listening to them and just pay attention to what they do. There you go. How about that? You ever think about that?
I say that all the time.
Listen. Don't listen. If you guys want to understand men, pay way more attention to what they actually do and not any attention to how you feel about it. You do that, you'll understand men. There you go, Wizard Liz. Why don't you tell them that? Nobody wants to listen to me, but they want to listen to her, and she's 23 and has no idea what she's talking about.
It's like you said, too, she has a digital footprint, which is basically a how-to guide of how to manipulate her. Yes. And that man did follow it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. That's exactly right. The how-to guide of how to manipulate her.
A lot
when
of
she started
women
describing her
always put
unrealistic relationship, boundaries, what she did was give people the how-to guide on how to manipulate her. And you want to know what else you'll do? Ladies, it's when you go on a date with a guy and you keep saying over and over again how you don't sleep with a guy on the first date. You like repeat that 3 or 4 times. What do we know when you keep telling us you don't sleep with Sterling? What do we know when a woman keeps saying she doesn't sleep with a guy on the first date?
That you're thinking about it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what it means. I'll tell you what it means. It means that she's done it 25 times.
Thank you.
And learned her lesson.
Thank you. Thank you. You are giving the playbook for you to get dunked on. That's the reason. It's like, oh, man, it's just so crazy. But anyway, sorry.
But what is the
shout out to Titan Energy Cookie. That rant is brought to you by
Titan Energy Cookies.
Literally just thinking that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I believe in myself.
Wizard Lid's kind of mid. I'm sorry to say.
No, she's very
Pretty good.
beautiful.
99.
All right.
Hold on, stop. We got to stop doing this. 99% of men will never date someone as pretty as her.
Well, yeah.
99%. So
Very
I'm not going to
beautiful.
sit here and degrade her physical appearance. She's pretty enough for this discussion. My problem is the fact that she's 23 and all of you are going to her for advice. What is wrong with you? That is madness, bro.
I
It's like the fact. Here's the main thing I want to say. More people are listening to her than Dr. David Buss. That's my point. The end of my point. That's all. More people are listening to her for relationship advice than Stephen Stewart Williams, Gad Saad, David Buss, Jeffrey Miller combined. World's leading evolutionary psychologists. They're listening to Wizard Liz instead. That you get what you pay for.
It's the algorithm.
Wait, I've got this
also
really great.
listened
I got
to-
this really great one by this dude that I know. Hold on a second.
Give
There
these
it
like
is.
life experiences. If you're the first person to show her something about the world, well, you feel significant as a man, and you have this sense of like, oh, like she's mine. I can grow with this woman now. I can show her the world, and I'm not being manipulated. I'm not being like a because
Right.
she did this with some other guy. You know?
And she's not likely to leave you because now she's associating all these incredible things with you, not with like, oh, well, I did this last week with Tommy, and 2 years ago I went to Malibu with, like it becomes like you're just a number in the system as opposed to being.
She's not comparing. Your experience with you to like this part.
right.
Oh, this one was better. This restaurant was nicer. That trip to Dubai was nicer, or whatever.
Right.
Like which is ultimately like which disrespectful, and it's like ungrateful.
Right.
The word that was bleeped was pussy, by the way.
Yes. One more thing. This just reminds me. Ladies, if you have any pictures of yourself in Dubai, Ibiza, Burning Man, if you have any pictures of yourself at Encore, Electric Daisy Carnival, if you're at Ultra, if you're at Art Basel, and you're by yourself, delete those pictures now if you want any man of any substance to ever marry you. Delete them immediately. Sorry.
Even but why?
Someone took the photo.
Oh, why? Somebody want to explain? Sterling, you want to
Human
explain why?
trafficking.
But what if you were on a group trip though?
Then take a picture with the group.
Exactly. If you're with your girlfriends, take the photo with the girlfriends. If you're by yourself, every guy looking at that photo is assuming there's a dude at the other end of the camera. The dude who paid for you to go there.
Let me just say that because I got a picture of myself on Instagram in Dubai. But in the other slides, I have like a video with my group of friends in the dumb buggy in the desert.
Like
Awesome.
It's like on a,
And who
like a
paid?
carousel.
Hey, who paid for the dune buggy?
We all did.
There you go. That's fine. I would let people know that.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
Lead-
though? So
lead
you
with
know
that.
The person that's like paying for you to go to these beautiful places, have these experiences, post these photos. Like, what's wrong with that?
In that relationship, there is nothing wrong. It's the next relationship.
I'll show you exactly
Hey,
the
but
Instagram husband.
as a girl that travels by herself all the time, and I want pictures, I have learned how to take pictures of myself so that I can post them. And I'm the only one that's ever paid for any of my tickets. I'm the only one that's ever paid for any of my travel.
They do make tripods.
They do. And I can take pictures from my watch with my camera. And I also learned, like, I can go, like, my Eiffel Tower pictures, whatever. I set it up. I found somewhere to set my camera, and I set it up, and I take a video. That's what I learned. I take a video.
Oh, I'm not saying that because you went there that you're a prostitute.
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying, what
I
I'm
know,
saying
but
is,
I'm like-
what I'm saying is, that's what everyone thinks when they see that photo.
Okay, so how do you prevent
without
that then?
exception?
Because-
Then take a picture holding your man's hand with your mom and dad with you.
but
Go
I
to the
don't
Burj.
have
Can you
friends.
can you go can you go to the Burj Khalifa with your brother? Like that's my point.
But I'm by myself, so, like, I can't take a picture.
And then it is our Instagram. Why would we want to put pictures of other people on
Oh, my
our
God.
Are your friends and
Instagram?
family? Why would you not post your friends and family?
Let him handle
I
that.
feel like it depends if you have a brand. It depends. It depends what your Instagram is used for. It's more than just showing pictures of yourself or pictures of your friends and family.
Hey, we're not telling you what we think. We're telling you that if you take pictures by yourself in these places, 99% of men are going to think what I just said, even
That's
if you don't think it's
a
fair.
way of thinking.
Again,
Well, look,
no. They have a shallow way of thinking. My way of thinking is accurate. That is what they're thinking.
I think it's
I'm
a
describing
Vegas
what they're.
way of
I'm not saying what
thinking.
I'm thinking.
No, it's
I
not
have
a
female
Vegas.
friends who live in Dubai and literally work for Emirates, and they're not hooking. They're like they just have normal jobs. The problem is everyone thinks they are. Yeah. And my thing to you is for some of you guys who really want you want that super high status dude to take you seriously, get that picture off your IG before this show is over. That's what I'm telling you.
Look,
What is that? What is it? Sorry, thank you. What is it supposed to look like, right? Because we keep being told that this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong.
I didn't say it's wrong. I'm telling you what other people
Right,
will think.
but yes. So if I want to do these things, right, like dress for the job you want, I feel like that's what we're having this conversation about. What does right look like? Because if I am always told this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, what is the constructive criticism so that I can do what's right?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? You guys are saying like post with your family. Me, who's not an influencer in any way, shape, or form, has posted with my family, and it's been used against me where people are like using the fact that it's like, oh, I found your mom's Instagram. I found your
Block them.
address.
Yeah, that's
right,
ridiculous. Don't tag your mom.
But that's
Don't tag
I didn't. That's the crazy thing. And I get like things like that. So I hear you and I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you because my dad, my parents, they do very well. And as soon as I say, oh, I've been in a Lambo, they assume that it was a guy. It's not.
Yes.
It's my dad.
Yeah.
All the travels that I do, my dad took me to Paris. The first bag that I bought, or not bought, was gifted, was from my dad. But guys don't.
Yeah,
see
if it
that
was
way.
a story of your dad bought a Lambo and took you on a trip in the Lambo, that would be a cool story, and that would not intimidate any dude. They would be like, "Oh, that's actually pretty
Right,
cool."
but Instagram is, I can't tell that.
Of course,
So
of course.
how do I
Is
do
it- well,
that?
actually,
Is
you
the
can.
question
You
that I
can.
have.
Of course, half the guys
but
be
I-
going, "Oh yeah, right, her dad."
I know, and so
Call her daddy.
Yeah, we're not. By the way, we're not telling you. We're not telling you that it's fair, and we're not telling you that there isn't a double standard. There is a double standard. What I'm trying to explain to you is, if you can disagree with me at your own peril. Even though I'm not telling you what you're doing is wrong, but what I'm telling you about what other people are going to think about you is absolutely accurate. If you show up to a job, if you're a super smart guy and you show up to a job interview smelling like tequila and like smelling horrible and not being undressed, it doesn't make any difference how good of a programmer you are. They're just going to assume certain things because that's how people work.
But
it doesn't make
I
it fair.
feel I relate with what she's saying. Like, so what's the alternative?
That's what
Because well, to be fair, I didn't deal with this until I moved to Vegas because I think the prostitution culture here is like 90% of the city. But I feel the same way. Anytime as a woman you post traveling or you post, any form of success, any form of not being poor. If you,
No, success is fine.
If you post like a man treating you well, automatic prostitution.
No.
Like,
But are you open that you have a man?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, so what's the solution though? I think it's
No.
like-
That's the key. Are you open that you have a man? If you open that you have a man, and the man is tagged in the photos, and we know that there's a man, and he's taking accountability for it, then there's no issue. Go with him to Dubai. We don't have a problem.
Just earlier, I said being a mistress is the ideal situation with a cheating man, and everyone's like,
agreed.
"Oh, how much did he pay you?
Well,
How
I
much did he-"
understand. There are women who disagree with that. They would rather not be a mistress.
They would be cheated on by their husband.
Again,
I don't think anyone
one more
would want to
time.
be cheated on.
I have said this to you before, Eden. There are millions of men who would not cheat on you.
No.
You're just not interested in any of them.
Oh, I am. You think I get cheated on?
No, because you're talking about you're the mistress. But like what I'm saying is, for most men don't cheat. It's about 30% of men who cheat in relationships. Women think that's crazy. Like, how is that possible? It's the assistant manager at the Taco Bell in Des Moines.
Oh,
he can't cheat. Women don't pay attention to him. Most men don't cheat. Most men are not abusive. Most men don't hit women. Most men don't have these problems. But the problem is when you're constantly going after the 6'4" blue-eyed dude, guy with the Bugatti who lives in Brickell, then you're like, I don't know why I keep getting cheated on. What's going on?
I do kind of disagree with that. I do disagree with the fact that like the guy that works at Taco Bell would never cheat on you. I think
No, he would. He just can't. He just can't.
That's the problem. He can't.
He can't.
So as soon as he starts dating
there's a
somebody
way.
who is more elevated on like a financial level, it's going to push him to want to do better. So once he starts to do better and he can afford his dream girl, you're going to get cheated on.
Afford your dream girl?
You know
That's
what?
frightening.
Like we should
Huh?
date.
Yeah.
No, you should date
No,
weak. You
don't
should-
date down. It's still you still get fucked.
You
That's
still
what I'm
do
saying.
get
Like
fucked on that.
exactly.
I actually
I don't think that's dating
feel-
down. Like I really like finding someone who's like a man who's very empathetic is not dating down. The problem is when you find out that the average guy is 5'9" and makes $69,000 a year, women are like disgusted by that idea. The top 10% of wage earners in the U.S. is $134,000, and most of you would never dream of dating someone that poor. And that's my issue. It's like
But do you know what the average woman in America weighs?
would
you date her?
167?
Would you date her?
No, probably not.
Okay.
No.
She's a beach ball.
Yeah.
Everyone has high standards, you know, at least on paper. I personally think like in the real life, like that's why so much like even when it comes to like liberal, conservative, so much of this online discourse is like it's for reactions. It's not real. I think in the real world, and I tell my friends this too, like because I have friends who are like, oh, he'll never date you if this. Like I'm a single mom, for example. On paper, nobody should want me.
No,
But when
you're
you
not
get
gonna have.
out there in the real world
No,
and
you're
you-
not gonna have any trouble whatsoever. There's
I
always
don't.
gonna be guys who want you. I have no doubt whatsoever. My point is, for a lot of women, there's this like top tier of dude who has a lot of boundaries, and it's gonna be harder to get that guy if that's what you want. That's
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
then each, you know, it goes both ways for both genders.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's like it's like how earlier you were saying, oh, when I was 25, no one wanted me. I guarantee you, there was probably a lot of women who wanted to marry you. You didn't want them.
Nobody wanted me. No.
You did not want them.
I'll show you guys a picture of me at 25. You'd be like, okay, maybe not you.
You wanted to go.
Maybe not you.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here really quickly because, like, I understand your frustration. I really do. Because what happens is, well, when women get on Instagram, like, we're like, how long has Instagram been a thing, right?
2011.
Yeah, 2011. So we're not even, we're talking a little over a decade right now. In all of human history, human females have never had this kind of access to this kind of worldwide global attention 24/7, okay? And so what happens is women from the time they're in their high school years all the way up into their mid-20s and even into their 30s and 40s, right, depending on who you are, you can't help but put those pictures up. You cannot help but, you can make it the most innocuous, most innocent thing in the world, and it's still going to be like, who's taking the picture, right?
Right.
It's still going to be, and the reason for that is that you guys have heard of a soft launch, right?
Right.
It's like women do not want to show their boyfriends in Instagram because Instagram is the #1 dating platform on planet Earth right now.
Right.
Because that's what we use to check each other out. It's just like trying to figure out whether you're cool enough to hang out with. Does he have a Bugatti? Is he in exotic locations? That kind of stuff. It's the same thing with women when it comes to like, I want to look hot. I want to look cute. I want to be in bikinis and lingerie all the time. And like, that's all you live your life in is you don't get out of your bikinis and boots and hat, right? You don't get out of your lingerie. You just wander around, Vegas in lingerie.
Okay, so, and
right?
I think that's miscommunication.
But
It's
see,
not-
the thing is that you're in a position where you have to do that because the minute you show your boyfriend is the minute you lose market share. Is the minute that you go, well, what else is out there? Because women are the advertisers. Men are the pitchmen. Women are the advertisers.
Right.
And so what happens is you have to constantly you take off the ring and make sure that nobody thinks that you're not single and available because it's all about sexuality and availability.
Right.
And so the minute you seem not available is the minute your follower count goes.
Yeah, we've
So
had
wait,
more
and
than.
let me just.
Go ahead.
Let me just.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a frustration. It's a genuine question, right? Because
yeah.
I don't have guy friends. that
I'm not
either
saying
don't
there's
wanna
any
fuck me
easy
or are
answer
straight,
for it,
you know?
but I do understand
So-
why it's frustrating.
Right, so
I'll find
that's
you
what
guy
I'm
friends.
asking.
I'm frustrated now. I'm like, how do I post my pictures?
So let me explain what happens, right? Is that me, single, essentially my Instagram is like my brand, if you will. So you guys are saying that this is looked at as bad because at the end of the day,
It's not bad. And by the way, you posting things of like you in the gym or you there's certain things.
But that's
there's
what I'm
certain locations where let me explain this to you. You went to Dubai. You paid for everything. You got your flight on Emirates. You went and got your own hotel room. You went and did the indoor skiing, and you jumped out of a plane in a squirrel suit. You paid for every penny of it. There's 100 other girls you encounter who did something similar.
Mhm.
What do you think the likelihood is they pay for it?
I honestly.
It's about 99% of them. 99% of
But
them.
here's the point that I'm trying to make with that. When you follow anybody on Instagram, right? Any of us, I see a pretty girl on Instagram, I follow her, a drop down hits, and there's 27 others that look just like her doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So me, how do I stand out and set myself apart where I don't look like an escort, where I don't look like this is a problem? Like how? Because there's a wrong, right? This is the wrong that we're talking about. Where's the right?
Let's not use wrong. Let's just use inefficient.
Okay,
It's a bad way to meet your dream man. By
Right.
going off and being like, I am super available.
What does right look like where my dream high value man, and I don't like that term either, honestly, that man, like how do I present myself where they're like, you know what? Okay, this is a girl that isn't getting fucked to go on this trip. This is a girl that like, how do I do that? 'Cause
Sterling, what do you think?
I'll give you like one practical example. The girl I'm dating right now, like her highlights on her story. You know, tell me if I'm wrong. Most women, every single highlight is like a POV. Sorry, not like it's a selfie.
Or it's
right?
food, or it's their dog.
But I went through a highlight reel and there's like maybe one photo of her. The rest is like photos of it's like the photos a guy would take of like a landscape or like something, which to me that was like a massive green flag. It's like, oh, she's not trying to sell her body all the time.
Okay.
It's like she's actually got a life.
So
she
what
does
is-
something interesting.
What does the timeline look like?
What do you mean? What's the timeline?
So you're saying her highlights, right? Like
Yeah, this is
little
just
things.
that it was like before I even met her. Like all these highlights were there before I even met her.
Gotcha, but that's what I'm saying. Like her actual Instagram, because that is the
She
thing.
actually has no photos on her Instagram either.
Oh, interesting. So
Zero
it's just
photos.
highlight reels.
Zero photos. Yeah.
It's just a little highlight reels on the top, no photos.
See, that's suspicious to me.
Yeah, I was just
And it's
That's,
private.
that's actually more suspicious
How did
than
you
anything.
find
And it's
her?
private.
How did you find her? How did you know what she looked like?
We met
What-
on a dating app.
Okay, there you go. So that's my question, right? Again, you met on a dating app, you saw a pretty girl, you swiped.
Yeah.
What were those pictures?
I honestly can't remember. Like probably one that's similar to like her profile picture, but I can't really remember. But
Right, but that's what I'm
usually it's
asking.
her, and she like wears long like flowing dresses and shit.
Okay,
You know, there's like she is like classy sexy. If that,
I see.
If that makes sense to you guys, like where it's like
Absolutely.
long flowing dresses, things
No,
are covered up.
I tell girls all the time, especially those of you who just have like like a lot of curves. If you show less, but still like imagine a man wearing a bespoke suit.
Mm.
If a man wears a bespoke suit, he's showing his curves, if you will, but like he's still covered up. Like that is really alluring to a certain type of guys, where you would show less, but you still show you have this outrageous physique. A lot of guys would like that. That's
like
another thing.
the example that she literally uses is this old school thing called the rule of threes, where you only show like between like arms, cleavage, and legs. You only show one of those three at a time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that like, because my hypothesis about this like modern dating market is I think women are just like you're in this like intrasexual competition where it's like a race to the bottom, where you're all just trying to show more and more and more skin.
Yeah.
And we're like tighter and tighter and more revealing clothing. Like even the gym gear is like showing your camel toe, for God's sake. You know? Whereas like
You can buy those now on Amazon.
yeah, like but if you and like you want
can.
to stand out, go in the opposite direction.
So when I have in the past, I had a horrible dating life. I really did. And that's what the point that I had earlier, where that like traditional woman is not being rewarded now. When I'm
I don't know that I agree with that. I think if you're in a relationship,
you can disagree. I've not seen
Oh,
it. So
aha.
that I just
Maybe
haven't
that-
seen that positive.
The point I like the point about that is
Yeah.
you're probably not seeing it because she's probably not online anymore.
The what?
She's probably not even online anymore.
she's not online.
Right.
You don't have any
like
access.
you're
to her.
only exactly. You're only seeing the women that are still putting themselves out.
Yeah,
there,
I'll
'cause they're
bet
still
you.
trying to
I
attract
bet
a
you,
guy.
if you made your friend group nothing but relationships that have been around for 10 years or longer, and you did that, you're going to find a lot of men leading in relationships and a lot of women who are in traditional roles. I'm not saying the other way can't be true. It's just way harder. And if one of the top precipitators of divorce is when when a man makes less money than a woman, then that tells you that the other way around, while it's possible, it's not very common and it's very difficult to work. So. Anyway,
I call bullshit too.
what?
All right.
Just like I would consider myself, I present myself very provocatively, but I don't carry myself provocatively. And I agree. I think so. One thing a lot of successful men have in common is they want what's exclusive and they want what other men can't have.
Sure.
So I think I agree. If you present yourself as this like homely, like goes to Denny's woman, men are not going to want you.
No, that's absolutely not.
or we just want
And
hot.
I'll be honest.
Hear what he just said.
It's very simple.
You can be hot and
Very
believe
simple.
the earth is flat and we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No, what you're saying, all that other stuff you're saying, you can have the most vile beliefs in history and we still, if we find you physically attractive, that's enough.
It all
So
goes
the
out the
idea about
window.
going to Denny's, dude, I promise you, if you're hot enough and you go to Denny's, we will like you just
No, but
fine.
what you're saying is not to be hot online.
Exactly.
No, I didn't say, no. I didn't say to be hot online. I said a different way to be hot online. I said you can still
But
show the
even
shape.
that, I don't believe. Like, okay, just from a personal experience, this one time I went literally I paid for the whole, like myself. I went on a bachelorette trip with my girls to Hawaii. And because I posted myself like on my stories in Hawaii, this man DM'd me and he was like, "You look so beautiful in Hawaii. I would love to take you." And I met this man, he's a millionaire. He's he's from California. And it's because I posted myself on a trip, which everyone here, all you men would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't post it. Don't take
I'm
this."
not saying you shouldn't post it. I'm saying his intentions might not be very pure because he saw you
No,
on
and
this trip by yourself.
I do agree with that, but I also think like when it comes to attracting a man, all you need is that initial attraction, and once he gets to that point where he wants to take you on a date, wants to get to know you, then it's in your hands where it goes from there as a woman.
I think with a lot of guys, though, they will absolutely take you on a date and do every single thing they can to make you think that they are ready to be in a committed relationship and never take you seriously for 1 second because
and
of
that's-
something they saw on your Instagram.
And that's where
100%.
we loop back to you can't pay attention to what he's saying. You have to look at his actions.
Yes,
what
correct.
he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that man, when he flew me to Hawaii, I'm sure if he would have fucked me. He probably would have fucked me in the airport.
No way. Stop it. They would have had sex with you, Eden. Stop.
But what's I'm saying,
You guys hear that? Eden would have had, the guy would have had
never.
sex with Eden. Isn't that crazy?
But what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. I think, and I actually do think presenting yourself as something that other men want is how you can attract successful men.
I absolutely think if you're just physically attractive, it doesn't matter what. But so there's actual, what am I talking about? There's actual studies on what's called mate choice copying in humans, and men do not find women more attractive because other men want them. Women absolutely find other men attractive because other women want them. And
It's a combination. They want what other men want, but can't have.
Listen, I don't care who wanted Selma Hayek
want
in
hot.
Dusk Till Dawn. I don't care who wanted Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street. She was so attractive in that movie. I didn't give a shit who wanted her, bro. No one cares. Scarlett Johansson. No, I don't care who wants her. I just see that she's attractive. I see facial symmetry, signs of youth, and a hip to waist ratio. That's it. Like I think you are way overcomplicating what men find attractive.
Hold on. Are we referring to the movie where the mistress gets the husband?
I don't know which one you're talking
Are we
about.
referring to that one right now?
I don't know.
The
What?
Wolf of Wall Street. Margot Robbie, super hot, amazing.
Yeah, but she's super hot. My point
But
is she's
again,
hot.
The mistress.
Do you think that the guy who had sex with hundreds of prostitutes and did a bunch of quaaludes is the high value man? Is that who you're equating him to?
No. But he provided a great life.
He provided a great life, and he have solved all the problems. Show over. That's it. That's all we have. Provided a great life. Who cares about throwing the midgets up against the wall? Can we say that word anymore? I don't know.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, I got to hang on a second. Oh, I also want to point one more thing out, more to your point. Sexy is not always slutty, but slutty is always sexy. Very simple. Very
You're
simple.
not attractive. Slutty is not. Slutty is get me the fuck out of here.
Is this the one you want? Here you go.
If you find out your wife is cheating on you and she has a mister, don't overreact. This is going to be very important because you might ruin your family, your house, your children, and lose all of that for what? For something meaningless on the side? Don't confront her. That's very important. What you're going to do is try to change your look. Go to the gym. Look your best. Dye your hair, change it up, and she's gonna notice. She's gonna be like, oh my God, is he trying to rekindle our love? He must really love me. You can work it out. And never even mention that you found out about the affair. If you mention it, it's gonna look like you lowered your standard, like you're not standing on business. And she's gonna understand she can keep cheating on you, right? But then if you pretend you didn't know, she will just stop cheating. She will think, oh, he didn't know, like he's just actually wants our love. So it looks different. She's gonna naturally leave him and go back to you because you're the husband and you are her real love. He's just somebody, she was just like lonely and she wasn't getting your attention. Like it's probably your fault if you think about it. Because like, if you gave her all the attention, if you went to the gym from the start and didn't let yourself go, she would have never cheated on you. Like, I'm a woman, I would know. If I have a husband, like, I would never cheat on him if he would never let himself go. I have no reason to. Women are women. Think about what you did that made her want to seek attention from another man. Reconnect with your family and your children.
All right, Sterling, go ahead. You want to explode.
I just hope no one ever listens to that advice.
I think that's satire. I think,
I kind of did too.
Yeah.
It was so good, though. It was
Yeah.
so good. It's like, what did you do wrong to make her cheat on you? What did you do? You should have gone to the gym. Go ahead. Sterling.
Gaslighting.
I
gaslighting
don't know.
101.
Like that Liz girl, I don't know her. I don't follow her. I didn't know that she got cheated on, whatever. But like what you were saying was like if she hadn't been so naive or so like about her like expectations on a relationship,
Yeah.
basically she wouldn't have gotten cheated. Or like I don't really understand. But because
Oh, no.
like how do you what was his intentions of being of
We're talking about Wizard Liz's boyfriend.
yeah.
Um,
But like he studied her to know how to manipulate her to
Yes.
be in a relationship with
Yes.
her for what though? Like what
Probably narcissistic supply. Who knows? I don't know.
But also
like-
to Eden's point, like that's exactly what we're told when we get cheated on.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, you should have just kept up. You should have just like gone to the gym. You should have dyed your hair. He'd pay more attention to you. And I don't think that's true at all.
I don't know that I hear a lot of guys saying that you should have done this, but
No,
I
no.
do. The part that I do agree with is it didn't mean anything because for men, it didn't
doesn't.
mean anything.
Yeah, right.
But for
Versus
women,
for
the
women-
likelihood, if it didn't mean anything, it's probably because you're a porn star. Like,
No,
it's
no, if-
generally,
no, that
like,
is the
it's not
difference
that
between
women
men
can't
and
have non-contextual sex. They certainly can.
No,
but
the
they cannot
cheating is
have it at the level that men can.
Not for men.
No, not for men. For
No.
women. For women. If
Exactly.
we cheat, it's emotional,
Like,
and
the
I'm
relationship's
leaving,
already over.
The relationship's over.
Before
Yeah.
before
That's
the
the
act
point.
was
So what
even
she's
committed.
saying is absurdity. That's my point. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, pretend like you didn't hear it, and then she'll stop cheating on you with the other.
Right, but that's what we're often told is to like turn the other cheek because like, oh, you're gonna throw your whole family away for this.
I
and
totally
it's like-
understand if a man cheats on you if you
Right.
want to leave. What I am saying though is it is an absolute double
No, this
standard.
is hilarious.
No, it's a double standard because if a dude cheats on you and you stay with him, you can work it out. I'm not saying you should. You have whatever standard you want. My point is for men, like I know that women are capable of having sex that means nothing, but not to the level that men are. You just met her.
Correct.
There's a dumpster. It smells a little bit like rotten cabbage and fucking
You'll never
bananas.
talk to her
But
again.
She really wants to fuck, and she's kind of cute, and you do it, and you don't even think
I
twice
think
about
that
it.
makes it
Like,
even worse.
Huh? Of course, no, I'm not
No,
saying it doesn't make it worse.
No,
I'm just
no,
saying
but
you
what
don't
I'm
understand.
No, but what I'm saying in a relationship, I think that makes it worse because I have this friend and like her ex, literally all he does is take like a different escort on like a date every night and fuck her like on like Instagram Live, damn near, and that's her whole rationale is like, oh, those girls mean nothing. And I'm like, well, that's even worse because if he's going out of his way to harm you for something that means nothing to him, what do you mean?
Again, if a woman is being cheated on by her man and she chooses to leave, I'm not telling you you're wrong. What I'm saying is of the two options, which is more irreparable, I think women cheating is more irreparable.
Also, Michael, that story was a little too specific. What dumpsters have you been on?
I mean, I don't like being called out like this. Here's a way to think about it. You have imagine you have if you have an actual child, I don't want you to consider them, and he's on a deserted island and he has to have sex with 17 beautiful women to get off the island. At the end of the encounter, do you think he needs to go to therapy? What do you think? No? You think he's gonna be okay? He probably laugh about it a little bit, but he doesn't need to go to therapy. Okay? Now imagine you have a hypothetical daughter and she needs to have sex with 17 dudes to get off the island. What do you think happens there?
Hold on, beautiful.
Are they beautiful
women.
dudes?
Use beautiful
Well,
men.
beautiful men,
okay?
beautiful. 17 beautiful men she doesn't know. What do you think?
Depends on the girl.
It
That's
depends.
gonna be a problem.
It depends on this, like her brain chemistry, if whether or not like.
Yeah, but it doesn't depend on the man's brain chemistry.
Well,
That's my point.
I do think it does.
As men, we have this like just to let you guys know statistically, the top 1% most promiscuous woman is equal to the median man.
Can we bring up that lady who had sex with, I think, 100 dudes in one day?
Lily Phillips.
Lily Phillips.
Or Bonnie Blue.
Did she ever go to therapy after that? Or
Huh?
I wouldn't know.
She was like, she was okay with doing it, but I know like a month later, she
posted
was
she had
going
to go to
to
therapy or something,
therapy.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, that's called a grift.
But that's what
That's
I'm
all
saying.
that
Isn't
was.
that worse? If it means nothing, it should be even easier to not have that sex, to make the woman you love
So
feel happy.
I'm gonna try to explain this to you in the best way I can. Have you ever seen the stories about vampires and how they want to suck blood all the time and they just can't turn it off? You ever watch True Blood? It's like there's this noise in a man's head that you will never understand because I have 17 times as much testosterone as. Imagine the horniest you've ever been in your life. Multiply that by 17 and then put on 100 pounds of muscle. That's what it's like being a man on a Tuesday. You will never understand.
But if you have a wife, you can just go fuck her.
Again, you will never understand what it is. You want to? I'll tell you what. I'll read the accounts of women who take anabolic steroids to do bodybuilding competitions, and then read their accounts. They're like, oh, I get it now. Like this is what it's like being a man. Holy shit!
Believe you guys are like
I can't
this
believe
all
you're
the
like this all the
time.
time. Like I want sex with every single person I see all the time. I can't turn it off. You don't. Respectfully, Eden, you have no idea what it's like for us as a man, especially when we go through puberty. You have never been this horny in your entire life. You have no idea. It's like us on a Tuesday, but we have to control it because we live in a civilized society. But like, if my testosterone is 900 nanograms per deciliter, yours is 60. It's not even close.
But couldn't women use the same argument, but with emotion? Like you never understand how emotional we are. So like, if a woman,
I would agree.
Yeah,
right?
agree.
So if a man is manipulating your wife, I love you so much. You're the woman for me, and she fucks him. Would you excuse her? Because she's a woman. Oh, I don't know how it feels to be that emotional. She's a woman, and
but she's not fucking him because it's emotion. It's because she's hot for that guy, and that guy let himself go, according to the video.
She caved based on him praying to his emotions, the same way a man would cave based on a woman praying to his hormones.
See, I think you only get to the emotional part after you get through the "he's so hot, I want to fuck him right now" part.
Yeah, but okay, and this is at least for me. Like when it comes to like my attraction, I am much more attracted to somebody that like I connect with on a mental level than I am just physically. Like I say this because if you look at the exes that I've dated, the hottest ex that I dated, bodybuilder, the guy models, like super hot. I wasn't attracted to him physically. Like he's hot, he is, but like the sexual chemistry was horrendous versus somebody who
Stop the cap.
I'm not even gonna put his business out there, but like it's not even. I know you want to. I know you do, babe. I'm not gonna put his business out there because I don't like speaking poorly on my exes. I'm just on my personal experience. It wasn't. I had so much more attraction to somebody that like mentally stimulated me.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with you. As per that ex, he did other things where he kind of like made me understand, like, especially when you speak to like male porn stars, like those are the ones that can kind of like explain it in a way that logically makes sense. But again, with the emotion versus like the testosterone and like needing to fuck something, like
ladies,
you can
do a fucking cycle of Anavar, like a 2-month cycle of Anavar,
no.
and then just watch how
That sounds awful.
every
No.
single dude you see, you're just ready to get like it's crazy, and you're like, this is how it is every day, and you're like, yo, bro, this is like a Tuesday for us. Like you just don't. You've never been to this restaurant,
right?
But you're proving the point, though, that it's a mental and emotional.
It is a mental thing for us, but also like it's that, right? Like, okay, say that like. Let's pretend for 2 seconds me and Michael are married, okay? This is my husband. He is super horny. He needs to fuck all the time. And if we as a husband and wife have that conversation, is that something that's doable that you can live with? Or like I have to make...
What's doable?
Where you're like fucking all the time and I'm okay with this.
Well, other women.
Right.
Okay, I didn't understand that part. Okay.
But I'm not allowed to because that's never the case.
Of course.
How... In my brain, we have to have that conversation where I'm excusing it. I'm like
Got it.
coming up with it.
And you don't. I'm not telling you have to. What my point was, of the two scenarios, one of them is harder to come back from than the other.
Right, but
Yeah.
again with the emotional state.
Yeah.
So like I have to rationalize it in my brain
Yeah.
in order for me to make it work. Because what you guys do, it's a normal Tuesday for you. It is the worst day of our lives for us. Like I am crushed. I can't look at you. I don't want to be in my
Got
home.
it. Yeah, because he lied.
Emotionally,
Yeah.
it is something that it almost feels like a death.
Of course.
Like it's so awful.
Yeah, because you don't trust him. Because
Right.
the lying though is separate from the sexual intercourse.
But that's the
But not for
problem,
us as men.
is that
it's
normally
it's
that's
the
what
lying
happens.
and it's the sexual intercourse.
Right.
The sexual intercourse is the leading cause of homicide over the last 200,000 years. Some other man putting his penis near your woman is the reason you kill him. That's the reason why. I'm sorry that you go look it up. Read The Murderer Next Door by David Buss. That's where it comes from. So there's a difference. Whereas for women, it's like you feel hurt. You feel like there's a death because he lied to you.
Right.
But the intercourse, is it really that big of a deal? Is it the actual intercourse or is it the lying?
For me, it's the lying,
The lying.
personally. For me, it's the lying. I just feel like because you were my safe space, right?
Yeah.
Like my man is my safe space. My home is my safe space. My bed is my safe space.
Yes.
Somebody just broke my safe space. So in order for that to be a relationship that works, you do porn, right? You talk about this all the time, right? How was that something that you were able to justify when you had those conversations with women?
I never had to justify it.
I loaded your
Right,
theme
but
song
like you
just for the
regularly
day.
talk about the fact that like you've had multiple relationships and the women all know about it. Like it's not that like taboo in your conversations. Like how do you go about that? Is
I mean,
my
like
question.
the porn thing honestly never comes up.
Okay.
Ever. I'm being honest. Like people would assume it's like this detrimental thing for me being in a relationship.
You would think people would think that he only would get very promiscuous women because he used to do porn, and it's not true. Because women are attracted to the same things that other women are attracted to. They don't. Everyone wanted Megan Fox, and she decided to get with a dude who slept with thousands of women and wears a pink dress and covers his body in tattoos. Okay, so like there's the idea that it's massive double standard. A dude who has a lot of bodies is attractive to women who have a lot of bodies and women who don't.
I mean, look at Leonardo DiCaprio. Like every girl knows she's going to get dumped when she hits 25,
Right.
but they still just keep lining up.
Yeah,
they keep lining up.
The
Yeah,
ship
but
sinks.
the point we're making is that we have to, and this is what Eden was saying too, is that like the emotions are, for us, it's like your testosterone where you like you can't explain it.
Sure.
It's something that you can't. So how?
But
do
I would
you go
argue
about
that I would argue that you're not even going to get emotional for a guy. Like a guy can't evoke an emotion out of you unless you're attracted to him. Like the busboy, are you getting emotional for the busboy? Are you getting emotional for like the waiter, who's like just a regular Joe? The guy at McDonald's, are you getting emotional for him? You're not, because he's not attractive to you. Like, but the guy who's like gets your engine revving, you're getting emotional.
No. I disagree, because this is why, and I'm like very strict on my friends about this, because my friends will be like, I'm like, why are you fucking that man? Why are you entertaining that man? They're like, oh, because I'm single, like it's for fun. And I always warn my friends, because women, like we were built to be mothers. Mothers, we have that ability to love anything. Like if a child comes out disabled, deformed, if they're a serial killer, the only person who's going to love them is their mother. Women have that capability. So the more time you spend around any man, and especially if you are having sex with him, or if he's telling you, preying on your emotions, women can fall in love with anything. And that's why I think women need to be extremely strict about who they even entertain, like to go to lunch with.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Except for a fat, out of shape guy. Yeah.
Except for what?
Except for a fat, out of shape guy.
I don't even, okay, but also too, and the friend that she's talking about loves to date men that are just like insanely overweight, but they,
I'm sure they're also poor, right?
Right.
Oh no, they're not poor.
So that's
Shocking.
what I'm saying.
I was kidding.
Right. That's the point that I'm making, though. It's like it's
They can't run away because they're so obese.
the attraction for her. That is the most amazing guy she's ever met, and she loves him, and she wants to do all these things. And the life that they lived was insane, and we'll never understand it because it was like she's getting cheated on Instagram Live. They're being taken to the most lavish dates, the most like beautiful 17-part dates.
But she stayed with the guy.
We'll go back in a heartbeat.
And I'll tell
okay?
you why. Because he's an emotional slot machine. She is pulling that lever, and she doesn't know if she's going to get 3 cherries or she's going to go bankrupt.
Right, but
it is so
we look at
addictive.
it. We look at her and we think that's insane. Why would you?
It
do
is
that?
insane.
The way that we look at you guys and we're like, how do you fuck 1,000 people when you have your wife at home? So that's kind of where
you want if you want the actual answer, it's because so testosterone is a risk-taking hormone. Estrogen is a risk-averse hormone. So if women get pregnant,
And that's also why cheating is such a deal breaker for me. Like I'm very dramatic to the way I think if you cheat on me, you tried to kill me.
No,
Literally,
no, totally. So
because when
you
it comes to herpes, when it comes to HIV,
Yeah, exactly.
it comes
So-
to all
so-
this. I'm
and-
like,
and-
if you
and-
cheat on me and come home to me, you tried to
and,
kill me.
and when you were pregnant and you had more estrogen going through your veins, you were probably more susceptible to that feeling and less likely to go rock climbing. Am I right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So when more estrogen causes women to actually be less more risk averse, and more testosterone causes men to be bigger risk takers. And so part of that is a variety of outcomes, and that's why, like for men, the more testosterone they have, the more they want a variety of partners.
So is that why you hear that, like, oh, they're willing to risk like their home, their life, and this? It's just that testosterone, like
Yes,
in your body. You're like,
100%,
I
yes.
don't care if I set this on fire.
Yeah,
I want
again,
this right
I'm
now.
not saying it's right. I'm saying you can't bench press 225 pounds, so you don't understand this feeling.
Well, it's not about right
It's
or wrong. I'm
madness.
just trying to genuinely
Yeah.
understand it, because as women, as you guys were saying earlier,
Yeah.
we don't get it. Like
Yeah.
that to me is insane that you're willing to throw away
Well,
your life.
I would,
but
I,
to you, it's like,
I would love for you guys seriously to read the accounts of women on anabolic steroids who actually are experiencing male levels of DHT and testosterone, and then listen to their accounts and how they all say the same thing. I understand men now. I didn't realize it was like this. Holy shit, how do you live like this? I want sex all the time. I don't understand. How do you think? How do you concentrate? This is crazy. What? Just read the accounts of women on anabolic steroids, and you're gonna be like, okay, now I understand. It's just the difference is we've gotten used to it over time.
Let me make sense of this for you really quickly here. So when a man cheats or when a woman cheats, the man's when he gets jealous or when he's like mate guarding or when he is like, the woman cheats on him, the first thing he wants to know is, where did you fuck? Was it in my bed? Was it in the bathroom? Does he have a bigger dick? Did you get off? Did he come? Did you come? Whatever, all this other shit that goes on. They are very hyper-focused on the physical act because for men, our investment in the woman is the baby that's coming out of you my fucking kid? That's what it boils down to. For women, when a man cheats on his woman, the first thing she says is, are you in love with her? Because she is interested in whether or not she is losing her investment, the return on her investment, which is security, provisioning, protection, and parental investment. If he is in love with this woman, if he has an emotional thing, then she is now vying for his resources and for his investment, his attention, and everything that was going into you and your kids and your offspring. Now it's at risk. And the thing is that because women's attractiveness, because of their sexual arousal, because of their youth and their beauty and their fertility is a perishable thing. What happens is when women invest that into that guy and then they get older and older and older, and he goes, that's why women have such a mad on for guys who are older that get with younger women, because it reminds them of the fact that they are progressively losing the ability to give birth and to have that investment. And so when women get
You only
to
lose that with the
certain
wrong
stage-
partner.
Well, when women get to that stage,
Because you only lose that as a woman with the wrong partner.
Well,
if you're with a successful man who adores you, he will keep you
but see,
looking
that's
young.
okay. So now
you
what
can
you're
freeze
talking
your
about is
eggs.
you're talking about
you can be fertile
husband goggles.
forever.
Okay, yes, you are correct. But see, that's the thing is you want to get to that age where that guy has just this complete emotional connection with you. He's in love with you, and he is providing for you. He is protecting you, and he has parental investment in his kids. Why is it that when men find out that a woman has cheated on him and has had those kids, and he finds out later on, and we see this more and more these days, courtesy of the internet, whether those kids are his or not, when they turn out not to be his kids, he gets violent. He gets to the point where he's going to kill himself, he's going to kill the kids, he's going to kill the woman, because his investment now is completely out the window. Much in the same way that a woman feels when she says, well, what happens if he gets really super successful and I'm 36 and he starts fucking his secretary who's 23 years old.
Then he get
and
home
has
and
this
leave your ass for a white girl.
this trophy wife. That's why we have the trophy wife, sort of theme that goes on right now. And the reason is because men and women have different mating strategies. A woman has a finite amount of time where she can give birth, where she can have children, and then from that point on, she needs that guy to be on board for the rest of their lives, right? So to take care of the kids, to take care of her, because she's not going to be able to go back in time and get another man because now she's in 30, 35. Now, I'm not saying that women can't be attractive. Obviously, we know Kylie Myers is turning 40. She's very attractive, right? But the thing is that's not... She's an extreme outlier these days. So what happens is, for women's psyches, what happens is there's this need for that security. Long-term security is of a paramount importance to women. And so when that guy cheats, it's not about the sex act so much as it is a loss of her investment, because if he leaves, then she's ass out. That's why we have alimony. That's why we have the divorce laws that we have right now. That's why we have and they're extreme, obviously, and that's why women get the custody and the child care and everything else that goes along with it, because that woman is going to have a really tough time going back in time. when men and women get divorced, men overwhelmingly remarry at higher rates than women do. And people will say, well, you know, it's because women know better now. No, it's because you can't go back in time to that point where you met that guy in the first place. That's why you need fail safes. That's why you need insurance on your investment.
So let me ask a question on that, right? Because this entire conversation, it just seems like men cheat because it's their like natural instinct. They need
unlimited
options.
access to unlimited sexuality.
Right. So it seems like men cheating should, and this is just what I'm getting from this, should be slightly more excusable than women cheating, because to you guys it's like a primal.
That's a judgment call. So what happens is when, so I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm just saying what is what is.
Right. So that's the question that I have,
yeah.
right? And just based on this conversation, it seems like it's like, hey, you know what? Listen, it's going to happen either way. Just accept it. That's kind of what this comes off as. It is your choice.
I would say just accept it. If I had a daughter and she was like, my husband cheated on me and I'm leaving him, I'd be like, I get it. That makes sense to me. We're not trying to espouse morality on you. What we're saying is, between the two, which can you come back from easier? If a man cheats, it really probably meant nothing. If a woman cheats, it's really hard for it to not mean nothing.
But that's my question, right?
Yeah.
Is that I have to make that decision as a woman. Do
Yes,
I
of course.
stick this out? Do
That's
I
up to
figure
you.
it out?
We're not gonna. Yeah.
Right, but how do I make that decision, right? How do I sit here and go, oh, you know what? He cheated. It sucks. My life is amazing. Our kids are beautiful. This is great. I should stay and work this out. Is it going to happen again? Are you going to leave me? How do I know? Like, I don't know.
I just think you need to sleep with women with your man. I think that might be the.
Well, here's
love that solution.
I'll give you an example.
What's wrong with that solution? I'm sorry. I feel attacked right now.
No,
What's wrong? Okay.
I was being sarcastic. I honestly think that like your marriage, you guys have to figure that out within the confines of your marriage. You can't sit here and be like, you have to do this. If that's not what he agrees with, at some point he's going to cheat, leave you. If you're just having open conversations with people, you're going to have a much more successful relationship versus if you hide and lie all the time. Versus like, because you talk about your stuff all the time. It's very out in the open. Any woman that you talk to can easily be like, hey, you know what? That's not for me.
They already know what's on what the deal
right.
is.
But most of us don't have that. Like, we don't have the Carfax. You know what I mean? We can't like look up your Instagram and see what.
Ladies, how much would you guys, if you had the ability to just watch porn of the new guy that you're dating before you guys go out with him? Who here would watch the porn? Anybody? Okay, nobody.
Didn't think so.
Huh? You would? Okay.
Yeah.
You
want the preview? You want the preview?
No, I agree. I'm just
my ex used to she used to jerk off to it all the time.
Okay,
like, she would jill off to that all the time.
But like that's the general question that I have, is that it's like, it seems like it's something where it's like, hey, listen, this is gonna happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So how do I go about that? Where I say, okay, you cheated on me, I'm gonna leave you right now. That's a lot easier to do when I'm 29, 25, 22.
Right.
It's not easy to do when I'm 42. That you've just built a whole life with this person.
Right.
So
Yeah, massive double standard, because I may be the richest and best shape I've ever been in my life at 42 as a man.
Right.
That's the difference.
So let me give you a hypothetical really quickly here.
So is Kim Kardashian as a woman, to be fair.
I think she was in better shape.
I don't like to use my personal life as examples, but I kind of have to in this situation. So I've been married for 29 years. I've been with her for 30. So my situation with my wife is it's closed on my end and it's closed on her end, and that's just that's just how we do it, right? But the thing is whenever you guys have trouble with the term high value man, high value woman, well, in my book, a high value man is a guy that other men want to be and other women want to fuck. And that's basically what everything else is contextual from there. I don't care if you're in Miami or if you're in a fishing village on the coast of Chile. Whatever it is, you're the guy that other guys around in your social area want to be, and other women want to have sex with.
Yeah, so here's the controversial part. It's other women want to be with, other women want to fuck, and other men want to be, and there's no morality involved. Meaning there's billionaires who are complete scumbags, and you're like, he's not high value because he lied to his wife. It's like, no, 50 women want to sleep with him. Value is not something that's determined by morality. The cost of the S&P 500 goes up when people want to buy it, and it goes down when people want to sell it. Whether or not a man is high value, I know several guys who are high value men, but people think they're horribly immoral. Does that make sense? Billionaires who cheat on their wife, whatever. You can say that man's a low value man. I was like, okay, cool, but 100 women are your friends are all trying to sleep with him. So you can keep calling him low value because that's your interpretation. But his value and my value and all of our value, I don't get to decide how much money's in my bank account. That's an actual number. My value is determined by the most attractive women that want to have sex with me, and women's value is determined by the highest status men that will commit to you.
So if I am that high value man and I am in a committed marriage with my wife, okay, the thing is when I say I'm with you, ride or die, no matter fucking what, I don't care if you get cancer or whatever else, I'm with you till death do us part, okay? And I'm the kind of guy that other men want to be and other women want to fuck. What am I giving up to be in that relationship so that is the deal that we have going on, okay? So what happens is if I'm the kind of guy that other women want to get with, how is that reciprocal on what are you going to appreciate that guy that much more? So if I have to go out and I have to kill the lions and I have to be the most elite guy that I possibly can so that I can provide, protect, and be parentally invested in our children. First off, the kids better be mine. That's number one, okay? Second of all is that if that's the case, the intensity that I bring to my life to create me as a high value guy, that's the kind of intensity I expect the wife to have for me when it comes to having sex with me. I want you to be adventurous. I want you to be show up in lingerie with a martini in your hand, whatever it is. That level of intensity, because what were we just saying? 17 times the amount of serum testosterone is flowing through me. I expect you to understand that, and I expect you to come back with the same level of enthusiasm going, holy shit, I have the best motherfucker that I can get with, and this guy, all these other bitches want to fuck him, and he's with me. That means that I'm the kind of girl that can lock down this guy. Then it's not even an obligation, it's I want to be with this guy, and this is what I'm going to do so. I'm going to fuck his brains out, I'm going to feed him, I'm going to do whatever it takes to show my appreciation for that guy. And that's where a lot of marriages fail, is because there is this expectation of guys to provide and have just this laundry list of things. He's got to stay in shape. He's got to have a great job. He's got to be funny. He's got to like puppy dogs. He's got to like Disneyland and rainbows. And my mom better like him. And he better want kids in the future. And he's got to be more educated than me. He's got to be taller than me. He's got this laundry list of things. Great. And I go, you know what? I love you. I'm going to stick with you till death do us part. What's coming back in appreciation? This is where people say, what do you bring to the table? Fuck the table. What is your appreciation level for me for bringing all this in the first place? And is that something, am I the guy that you have such desire for, and that you can appreciate that you're going to be able to reciprocate that to me? That's how good marriages last. Because it's based on, not on commonalities and not on, let's talk it out and let's have, open communication. It's not that you communicate, it's what you communicate. And then second of all, it's based on polarity. Like, I'm me and she is her, and she doesn't expect me to be what she wants me to be, and I don't expect her to be, but we have this common appreciation for one another, and she knows what I'm about. She knows what I do. She knows what I've been doing for the last 30 years, right? And so that appreciation comes back to me with the same intensity that I have to put out every day to bust my ass to be that high value guy in the first place. So if there's a formula, if there's a theme, if there's a template for a good relationship, it's based on polarity and it's based on appreciation and a woman having insight. She's got to be able to come to this, everything I've just told you right now. I can't be the one telling you this. I can't say, here's what I need. You should already know that. You should already have the insight to go, fuck, I am lucky as fuck. I thank my lucky fucking stars and all the gods in the fucking universe that this guy ended up in my life and I'm having his babies, not babies, his fucking kids. And if that comes back to me without me ever having to say it in the first place, that's when you're going to have a good relationship.
So let me ask on that, just because in regards to everything you're saying, I agree with you 100%. As far as polarity and that intensity, I do agree with you on that. But I am curious as to, and if you're comfortable sharing, because I know you said you don't like bringing up your personal life, how were those conversations handled where you are very clear on both parties how you guys are handling certain situations? Because it sounds like she's closed off, you're closed off. You guys have a certain understanding of several things within the marriage. So I think that is where a lot of the disconnect comes in, is that those conversations aren't had. Either people don't know how to approach them or whatever the case is. How are those approached? How do you know with such
I think it
certainty?
depends. I think it depends on what the issue is, whatever we're having a conversation about. Because in some cases, a conversation doesn't even need to take place. In some cases, yes. Hey, this is what we're going to. I would expect marriage vows. That's good enough conversation right there. The other thing is, I've said this story a million times. One of the things when my wife and I were dating, one of the first things she did that impressed me, anyways, was when we were going out on a date and we were taking her car, she would give me her keys, because she expected me to drive the car to wherever it was we were going. She hated my truck, actually. So we would go out somewhere and she would hand me the keys. She was the first woman I've ever dated at all that would give me the keys, because she expected me to drive. She expected me to be the alpha in the relationship. She expected, and this has been an allegory and a metaphor for our marriage ever since, is I expect you to do the driving. Keep me alive, don't kill us, put your seatbelt on. But keep us alive, get us from point A to point B, and that's really we've sort of used that as sort of a metaphor for the entire, for our entire lives. When I used to work before I did all this in previous life, I used to be the art director for Van Gogh Vodkas, and so I worked in wine and spirits. And there was a time where I was asked to relocate from Reno, Nevada, to Orlando, Florida. Right? I sat her down we were having sushi or something like that. I said, "We're moving to Orlando." We didn't have a conversation about, what about my career? What about my family? What about my friends? What about this? You know what she told me? She says, "You're my husband, I go where you go."
It's because she trusts you.
Yeah,
She was safe.
Exactly.
But so that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Because I hear you, and I love the way that this is set up. How long have you been married?
Well, coming up on 30 years.
Okay, I'm single, and I would love to be in something that healthy. But my dating pool right now is a lot of what Michael's bringing up, where I'm gonna fuck as much as I want, and you really can just fuck off.
Well,
with
I did for most of my 20s, so yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out like how to essentially have those conversations where I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I'm interested in. This is like how I want to have this like healthy, because it seems very healthy, right? So how do I go from the dating pool of this, where it's like, I'm going to fuck whatever I want and I'm going to blame my testosterone and this is what it is, to a healthy marriage like this? Because my parents have been together since they were 15. This is what you're describing is very similar to my parents.
Yeah.
So I would love that, but I also am in a place where, as somebody who's single right now, and what I'm seeing in the dating pool, it doesn't sound like it exists. So how can I, as a single woman, find something like that? There has to be a way for me to communicate with people and ask the right questions where I can figure that out. Because right now what's happening is what we were kind of talking about earlier, where they'll say whatever they're going to say to get in your pants. So I need to figure out a way to...
It's because you're at that, how old are you?
29.
29. Okay, so you're kind of like on the cusp of getting into your 30s right now. So now you're starting to think seriously about getting like into a long-term relationship. And this is one of the things I've talked about with Mike. Right now in the 21st century, we're trying to figure out how to do marriage. Okay, yeah. I'm an anachronism actually. I married my wife in 1996. Okay, so back then it was closed on my end, closed on her end. For Michael, it might be closed on your end and open on his end, although maybe you're bringing chicks into the bedroom, right? Or then you've got the open relationship thing where it's open on either people's end. And I've always asked this because I've talked to people who are poly on this show before, and I said, well, how do you know when somebody's cheating? And they go, well, it's a breach of trust. I'm like, well, what the fuck, you're fucking other people, right? But the thing is they're like, well, I want to know who he's banging and he wants to know who I'm banging, and that if they say it's okay, then we can go and have sex with those people, which is bizarre to me, but that's how we're trying to figure things out in the 21st century. And then there's actually the most common version, which is it's closed on his end and open on her end. And the reason why I say it's the most common is because of just what we were talking about a little while ago about the Instagram thing, whereas men have to be the pitchmen and women are the advertisers. And so if you're already an influencer, if you're already on Instagram, you're already advertising. So if I was a guy in that situation and I start flirting with the waitress and I'm pitching myself, you would call that cheating. But we don't call it cheating when a woman is on Instagram and she's with a guy, like monogamously with this guy, but she's still advertising her sexuality. She's not showing her wedding ring. She's not even showing the guy on the thing. She's just, because she doesn't want to lose market share. Maybe it's because you make money at it. Maybe it's because of OnlyFans. Maybe it's because of Instagram, whatever. Maybe you're a model and you want to present this a presence of availability. I understand that. But the thing is you're still advertising your sexuality. And so what happens is it's really closed on his end and it's open on your end, just in case something better comes along. And I think a lot of women sort of adhere to that. I think, but more to your question, to answer your question, it comes down to insight. I think a lot of, like, people ask me, like, Roll, how did you vet for your wife? And I always say, I didn't vet her, I vetted myself. I'm like, is this a woman that I can be faithful to for a long time? Because I know me, I've seen me do it before. But when I was with her, I said, okay, yeah, I can be faithful to her. Everything else after that point, I'm like, okay, well, you know, she's good with with her sister's kids. She's good with, you know, all these other things. She's insightful. She, you know, apologizes when I don't even think she's crossed a line or anything, right? Well, the thing is like, but a lot of people will look at what I have, and the first thing they'll say is, you must be a real tyrant. You must rule your marriage with an iron fist. I'm like, no, not at all. It's completely fucking effortless. And so when people say, oh, marriages and relationships are a lot of hard work, I'm like, bullshit, they are. A good relationship is effortless because you already know what that person is going to think, and they already know what you're going to think. And really, my relationship, it's kind of unfair to ask me this because I can't really tell you, because my relationship where I'm at right now is a product of, well, 30 years of us being together. So I can tell you sort of how we got to that point, but how do you meet somebody like that in the 21st, in 2025 right now? Honestly, I think it's going to be sort of like a little bit of soul searching on your end, and really kind of deciding like, okay, if I find this guy, I'm going to make damn sure that he knows that I appreciate him, and I already know his boundaries before he even has to state them. Like, he wouldn't be cool with me, you know, advertising on Instagram, for instance, or something else. It could be anything, right? Get interested in what he's interested in. Most women do this if they really like a guy anyway. Suddenly they're not, you know, cheering for the Chiefs. They suddenly like the Raiders, you know, that kind of stuff. Or, you know, they start listening to the same kind of music. That's how you know your woman's cheating on you, by the way, is like when she takes an interest in a different sports team than you're into, or she starts listening to the kind of music that the other guy's listening to. You're like, what did you like this? I don't know. But finding out and finding out more about that guy, but having a natural, genuine desire for that guy, that's where everything starts, is genuine, unadulterated, organic desire. And then from there, you can, at that point, it becomes a sort of process of vetting yourself and saying, is this the kind of guy that I can be faithful to? Is this the kind of guy I'm going to appreciate in the long term? And then if the answer is yes, then from there, you're just going to start making decisions based on that one decision.
Where are you meeting people now?
Right now, I just closed myself off. I'm going to be so honest. I moved to Vegas last year, and this may be the most insane dating pool I've ever seen in my life.
It's the Olympics.
You haven't been to Nashville?
Yes.
When I was in Florida and Miami, I had the healthiest dating life. I'd meet men organically, which is my absolute favorite. I really don't like dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
I like that in person, which is funny because, like, I'll give my Instagram and I'm like, what if he thinks I'm a catfish? I'm like, wait, he knows what I look like. And I would just have these funny little like exchanges, and it was so healthy and happy. Like, I actually was like almost like a serial monogamous when I was there. And then I moved here. And I don't know what's in the water, but it's a little scary. So I just like, really did just stop.
Here's an idea. What's in the water is probably Trembolone. But here's the thing. Let's try this. Come on Friday to where there's a bunch of men wearing lederhosen for Oktoberfest, and then come to the charity event we have on Sunday for Babes in Toyland Boots and Bikinis. And you should come to the Teddy Ball in San Diego, where we're collecting toys for all the orphanages, hospitals around the place for Trina's kids. These are charity events, and you should come on December 4th to Babes in Toyland, when we're collecting toys for the Midnight Mission homeless shelter. That's where I would find them, to be honest with you, in this city. That's why I throw only almost exclusively charity events, is because of that. So that's what I would probably
and I'm just going to address this because I knew this shit was going to come up in the comments here. It's like, oh, you're only going to meet a chaste woman at Bible study and at the bookstore. Why the bookstore? There's no more bookstores,
we go to
okay?
church, like, every
Barnes and
Sunday,
Noble, maybe.
and
I don't
that's
know.
just not like.
Set your location somewhere else and go.
Let
Okay,
me.
but like, as funny as that is, I have like not done that because I'm so terrified to do that outside of the country. But like, some of like my favorite relationships, situationships, whatever you want to call them, have been that where it's like they don't live in the same place. It's always like nice and happy. It doesn't like go anywhere, but it's like always like just the best like banter that I have. So I almost like wonder if I'm just like fishing in the wrong pond
Could be.
because I went from Miami to Vegas, right? So those are two very like competitive versus like the guys
Sunny
in-
places for shady characters.
Right. So, you know what I mean? But I do agree with Michael. Like some of the more like upstanding men that I've met have been at like these charity events in Miami and things like that. So I do agree with you on that. I can't make it on Friday because I'm going to be in LA,
Ireland
but-
actually has a
let me
whole.
just finish the thought really quickly here. I'm going to dispel all of you guys in the chat right now. Okay. Here, let me explain something to you. I met my wife at a club, the place you're not supposed to meet quality women at. And I met her after a gig that I played, as a matter of fact. And there was alcohol there, and there was music, and there was dancing, and there's all this shit that you're supposed to meet them in some, I don't know, municipal park or some shit like that. It's like, no, you can meet women anywhere. You can meet men anywhere. You're not looking in the right places. Bullshit. It just depends on who you're being a good judge of character and being able to decide for yourself. And by the way, I do think live and in person is the way to go.
I agree. I would prefer that versus dating apps. I feel like dating apps and like the whole Instagram dating has become super toxic just because it feels like a game. It's not even a real, I don't even consider you a person until I've like met you in person. So like I'll do that swiping, I talk to them and it either goes nowhere, and I'm sure you guys have seen the studies where it's like one girl, like the most unattractive girl has like 10 times more matches than the most attractive guy.
Yes.
So like I do feel like it's pretty skewed, but that's a lot of talking, a lot of vetting, a lot of options that I have to go through, and it just doesn't feel organic. Like it doesn't feel.
Yeah, I would just get off the dating apps. I mean,
they're awful.
I mean, you don't you're a woman. You don't need short-term sexual access. I would just get off. There's no point.
Is that what they are like to
What do you
men?
think? What do
Right,
you
but
think?
like that's because that's not how I.
You don't need it. Like again, one more time. November 29th. Come to Eddie
Yes,
Hall,
come on.
San Diego. We're all wearing tuxedos and gowns, and I'll throw you in a big pile of teddy.
I'm gonna wear the
And
zoot suit.
Have a great time. Just do that. I would make my entire social life around animal rescue. October 15th in Los Angeles, we're doing the Pink Party. Babes in Toyland Pink Party for breast cancer awareness. My entire social circle is based around philanthropy. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I would guess.
I mean, obviously, I don't have a lot to contribute to this conversation. It's clearly very hard to be straight. But
it is.
Any of the best relationships that I've had, I've almost always met them in either in kind of it sounds a little hokey to say hobbies, but like community.
I've heard that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, community-based activities that are around a hobby that you're really good at or you really enjoy, and philanthropic events. We used to, when I was in my 20s, we used to call fundraisers. That was dating pay dirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was every nicer-looking older gay man that existed, and they were all there.
I know. Remember when we were at the Bunny Ball, and then he's doing these interviews with these girls at the Bunny Ball,
where to meet high quality men and where
the
they
first
hang
thing you
out.
ask them is like,
Oh,
who are you
okay.
going to get to throw you in the? Who are you going to? Sorry, hold on. Who are you going to get to throw you in the bunny pit? Right? And none of these girls said, "Oh, I don't know," because they were all single. Every last chick that we talked to is single at the charity thing.
Yeah.
Somebody actually sent me, because I do travel now, so people send me stuff all the time. And one of my girlfriends sent me the other day that there is a month-long matchmaking festival in Ireland, and it's the entire month of September, whatever we're in right now.
Oh,
and there's actually a girl that's like
Gonorrhea fest.
documenting it, and she's been on like I think her third date now with like this one dude.
That
but-
sounds incredible.
I do feel like
Can't wait to see
matchmaking
how that
events are
ends.
like.
So it's Irish Coachella.
Yeah. Lots of alcohol, random dates with men in Ireland. I'm sure this is going to go well.
It can be fun.
Well, I was gonna
I bet
say,
it'll be a lot of fun.
Matchmaking events, I do feel like are a little bit on the cheesy side, or like the men that I've met that go. Yeah.
That's how you
I
go
know,
out of the country,
crazy.
and then you still get a vacation out of it.
I do feel like they're on the men that I have noticed go to those are not usually men that are successful in talking to women, which I think is why they go to that, versus the philanthropic events. That's different. That you're there for, philanthropy, but you also get to meet women that you're attracted to and are interested in the same thing. So you already have something to connect with. So I actually love that idea. Yeah. The
Also, just don't take it so seriously. Like,
no, I know.
I feel like if you're like too focused on it, like that energy comes across.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
So,
well, that's why I think like a lot of women that are like, oh, I met my husband, my dream man, they're really just focusing on themselves and they kind of just stumble upon them. And that's why I just feel like for me personally, and again, I'm in Vegas, this place scares me as far as dating goes. So I've closed myself off, and my biggest thing this year has just been focusing on improving myself in every way.
As you should.
So it's just been like gym, work, the things that like I know are going to improve my life. So if a good man comes along, I'm open to it. Do I think that it's here in the dating apps? No.
No.
All right, let me get to the super chats real quick so we can get out of here. If you want to understand the psychosis infecting the fringe left today, check out James Lindsay. Okay. Michael, planning a bachelor party. The AVN Expo Awards weekend on January 23rd. Worth it for the after party. I think it's going to be Simpville, but I don't know. I could very well be
you're
wrong.
correct. So
you are correct.
The problem with AVN is why it seems like a great idea. When you get there, it's like 17 dudes for every guy. Yes, your favorite porn star will be featuring at Sapphire or the Rhino. Yes, for sure. You'll probably get to meet her, but like it is some of the saddest, craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, because you'll have like, dude, there was a line for guys to get a fleshlight that was a mile long at Hard Rock or Virgin Hotel last year.
They all ordered it online.
Was wild. I couldn't believe. I go to AVN every year just for the interviews, for the entertainment.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm kind of embarrassed.
Only the expo.
I'm kind of embarrassed how many people know me when I'm there. I don't know, why do you guys know who I am? That is so weird. But yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. But I would, for his bachelor party, I don't know if I'd come to that. I mean, it's just not, it's not. Might pick a different weekend. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
All right, last one. Rational.
Find something when Rufus Du Sol is playing, or when Chainsmokers. If you go to Chainsmokers at XS, or if you go to something like Stevie Aoki or at Omni or something, just a ton of girls there. That's probably something better than maybe.
Redneck again, saying the affair meant nothing is the worst thing a woman can say. You made the guy commit, but gave it to him for free.
Yep. That one I agree with.
That's it.
Sure.
We're out.
Beautiful. Awesome, guys. Did you have a good time, Nat?
Yes.
You did? You come back?
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. Very cool. Eden, did you have a good time?
Always.
I feel like we're your social circle now. Yeah?
I don't have straight male friends.
Yeah, you do. I'm a fucking straight male friend of yours.
Sounds like an
I literally
acquaintance.
see you at clubs and shit. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know what your day-to-day life is. I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know what you're going through. That's
No,
like
what I'm going through, just ask me. I'll tell you what I'm going through. What are you talking about? Like, we're your friend. We are your friends. Stop it. Ashley, Ibiza next week. Where are you going?
Ireland.
Switzerland and Italy.
Switzerland. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did.
Yes?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We're really happy to have you here. Sterling, how's it going, man?
Oh,
You have a good time?
pleasure. Love it.
You had a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. These women are cooked. You're going back into porn?
They're cooked.
You will not see me at
Yeah,
AVN.
okay. You'll not see me. Well, let's go to AVN together. It'll be great. We'll do interviews.
They hate me there.
Oh, that's what I love. Let's go do it. All right, awesome. Jen, how you been?
Good.
I want your barbecue sauce. Let's do it. Okay, awesome. Jen. Lord of Darkness, Voldemort. What do you think about the episode?
It was fantastic, but I heard dinner was included.
Yes, dinner is included. Absolutely, afterwards,
more.
for sure. Tiffany, did you have a good time?
It's good to be back. I
Yes.
missed you.
Okay, beautiful. Would you have a good time, Casey?
Yeah, it was great.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Okay, well, glad to have you. And Paris, what do you think?
I had a great time. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
It's nice meeting everybody.
Of course. And what did you think about the show, Chloe?
Well, this was great. Thanks for having me again.
Of course, guys. We'd love to have you guys come back on anytime you want. Probably next episode. Well, that next episode is going to be October 1st, and the one we're going to do after that is going to be on the 15th, I believe, October 15th. My birthday is going to be October 13th and you guys, if you are a man, we'll play basketball some other time. You're not coming to my birthday. Unless I invited you specific. The way you do it is you invite like 4,000 girls, and then the guys, you invite them like 10 hours before the event happens.
Drip feed them
And
on
you just
invite.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody what's going on. So anyway, guys, really happy to have you guys. I am not a licensed therapist. I just like to say that real quick. I do not have a master's degree in therapy. What else? Have not been canceled so far. Like I said before, Teddy Ball coming up, Babes in Toyland coming up,
Bikini and Boots.
Oktoberfest, Bikini and Boots coming up, Oktoberfest coming up. We have another Babes in Toyland in May in Miami coming up. So if you guys want to find out more about that, go to babesintoylandcharity.com. You guys can go to Teatro LA on Instagram if you want to find some of our events, or you guys can go to Swimsuit USA or Nalu Bay Swimwear. They are also people that we work with. You guys go to Harps Cosmetics here if you guys want to check it out. And then you guys can read The Rational Male, book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
6 coming out October.
I'm
Already
really
there.
interested because I would really be interested in some of you ladies reading The Rational Male and just come back and then just talk about what you think.
Oh, like a book club.
Yeah, I think that'd be
there you
great.
go. We should do.
I'd be very interested.
I want an in-person reading.
So the thing is, one of the guys commenting is Sam Bada. He is the audio book reader of
the first 3
of the first 3 books. So I think you should definitely read it. And then at the end, you'll probably hate me. All right, cool. Anything else, guys? Awesome. Thank you, guys. Remember, if you're ugly, please use a condom, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
All right.
God wants you to have the baby.
Definitely not.